There's a moment in life when you realize the power of holding back, the strength in pausing, and the wisdom in restraint. We live in a world that celebrates speaking up, sharing opinions, and being heard, yet few stop to consider the consequences of saying too much. Words have weight, and when scattered carelessly, they lose their value. Have you ever felt the sting of regret after oversharing, or the awkward silence that follows when you've said more than you should? These moments are quiet reminders that sometimes less truly is more. Silence isn't about the absence of sound, it's about the presence of thought. It's a shield that protects your dignity, a tool that sharpens your understanding, and a skill that sets you apart. Words, when spoken without care, can become traps, revealing what should have been kept private, igniting conflicts, or eroding trust. It's in the moments when we feel the urge to fill the air with chatter that silence becomes our greatest ally. Think about the people you respect most. Are they the ones who dominate every conversation, or are they the ones whose words carry weight because they choose them carefully? Silence doesn't scream for attention, but it commands it effortlessly. Those who speak less often exude a quiet confidence, a sense of self-assuredness that can't be faked. It's not that they lack opinions or thoughts. They simply know when to share and when to hold back. That balance is where true power lies. There's a strength in resisting the urge to explain, to justify, to prove yourself through endless words. Overspeaking often stems from insecurity, a desperate attempt to fill the silence with validation, approval, or reassurance. Yet the irony is that the more you talk, the more you expose your doubts. Silence, on the other hand, signals inner strength. It says, "I don't need to prove myself to anyone." That's a statement of power, and it requires no words at all. We've all seen what happens when words are used carelessly. Relationships crumble under the weight of arguments fueled by impulsive speech. Trust erodes when secrets slip out in moments of overconfidence. Opportunities are lost because someone couldn't resist bragging about a plan they hadn't yet acted on. The cost of speaking too much isn't just external, it's internal too. The mental clutter of words spoken in haste lingers, leaving a trail of regret, confusion, and unresolved emotions. But silence is different. Silence invites reflection. It gives you a moment to pause, to consider, to breathe before reacting. It creates space for clarity and understanding, both for yourself and others. In silence, you learn to listen, not just to words, but to the emotions behind them. You pick up on the subtleties, the nuances that are lost in a rush to respond. Listening, truly listening, is a rare skill, and it's one that deepens connections, builds trust, and fosters respect. Silence also protects what's sacred, your privacy, your goals, your boundaries. In a world that often feels oversaturated with information and noise, keeping parts of yourself unspoken is an act of self-respect. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world, and not every thought needs to be shared. Silence draws a line, one that says, "This is mine, and I choose to keep it that way." It's a boundary that doesn't need to be explained or defended. Yet, choosing silence doesn't mean suppressing your voice. It doesn't mean shrinking or hiding. On the contrary, it's about mastering when to speak and when to hold back. It's about understanding that your words have value and treating them as such. Speaking less doesn't mean you have less to say. It means you've learned the art of saying only what matters. This isn't easy. We live in an age of instant expression, where thoughts are broadcasted with a click, a comment, or a post. The pressure to contribute, to add to the noise, can be overwhelming. But stepping back, choosing silence in a world that never stops talking, is a revolutionary act. It's an act of courage and wisdom. It's deciding that your words will be meaningful, not just fillers. The benefits of speaking less ripple through every part of your life. In relationships, it allows for deeper understanding and less conflict. In professional settings, it earns you respect and admiration. In moments of decision-making, it gives you the clarity to choose wisely. And within yourself, it fosters peace. A quiet, steady confidence that doesn't rely on external validation. There's a profound wisdom in learning to pause before you speak. It's in that pause that you find clarity, purpose, and strength. It's in that moment that you realize you don't need to fill the silence with words to prove your worth. The pause isn't a weakness. It's a reflection of discipline and self-awareness. It's a choice to rise above impulsiveness and act with intention. The ancient Stoics understood this well. They knew that silence wasn't just a practice, it was a way of life. They believed in speaking only when it was necessary and beneficial, in choosing words that built bridges rather than burned them. Silence, to them, wasn't emptiness, it was fullness. It was the space where wisdom grew, where emotions settled, and where actions spoke louder than words ever could. When you start to embrace this approach, you'll notice subtle but powerful changes. People will lean in when you speak, knowing that your words are worth hearing. Conflicts will diminish because you've learned to hold back in moments of anger. Opportunities will multiply because you've mastered the art of listening and observing before acting. And within yourself, you'll feel a growing sense of control over your words, your emotions, and your life. This isn't about silence for silence's sake. It's about cultivating a thoughtful way of being, one that prioritizes quality over quantity, purpose over noise. It's about understanding that silence, when used wisely, isn't a void. It's a foundation. It's the space where your best self emerges. In the end, the choice to speak less and listen more isn't about impressing others or following rules. It's about respecting yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your time. It's about recognizing that your words are a reflection of your inner world and treating them with the care they deserve. So, as you move forward, let your words be intentional and your silence meaningful. Let them both reflect the strength, wisdom, and confidence that come from within. Because when you master the art of speaking less, you don't lose your voice, you find it. Let's begin by uncovering one of the most subtle yet profound truths about human connection. The weight of your words determines the strength of your influence. When words are carefully chosen, they carry power, authority, and respect. But when words flow unchecked, they lose their sharpness, their meaning blurs, and their ability to resonate fades. This isn't just about communication, it's about how you're perceived, the respect you command, and the depth of your relationships. We've all experienced the energy shift in a room when someone speaks with precision. Their words don't just land, they linger. They carry intention, clarity, and an undeniable sense of purpose. Yet, for those who speak excessively, their message is often lost, not because they lack intelligence or value, but because their constant stream of words dilutes the importance of what they're trying to say. In a world that values brevity and impact, over-talking can quietly erode the respect others have for you, leaving your voice unheard even in moments when it matters most. The power of your words begins with understanding their purpose. Speaking without intention is like scattering seeds without planting them in soil. They may exist, but they fail to grow. Every word you speak is an investment in your relationships, your reputation, and even your self-image. When words are used without care, they often fall into patterns of redundancy, irrelevance, or over-explanation, making it harder for others to grasp the essence of what you truly mean. Over time, this habit creates a wall between what you say and what others hear, weakening your ability to connect. Silence, on the other hand, creates space for reflection. both for you and the person you're communicating with. When you pause before speaking, you're not just allowing the other person to absorb your words. You're also signaling that what you're about to say is worth their attention. This subtle but powerful act builds anticipation and respect, setting the tone for meaningful dialogue. People are naturally drawn to those who speak with purpose because it shows thoughtfulness, discipline, and self-control, qualities that inspire trust and admiration. The constant need to speak can often stem from a fear of being overlooked. Many people talk excessively because they believe that silence might be interpreted as ignorance, disinterest, or weakness. However, the opposite is true. Silence conveys confidence. It shows that you're comfortable with pauses, that you value the power of observation, and that you trust the strength of your presence without needing to constantly assert it. This quiet assurance not only elevates how others see you, but also strengthens your internal sense of self-worth. Over-talking can also blur the boundaries of respect in conversations. When one person dominates the dialogue, it leaves little room for others to express themselves, creating an imbalance that can lead to frustration, disengagement, or even resentment. People want to feel heard, and when someone takes up all the conversational space, it often sends the unspoken message that their thoughts or feelings are less important. This imbalance doesn't just affect the dynamic of a single interaction. It shapes how others perceive you over time. There's a subtle artistry in knowing when to speak and when to listen. Listening isn't passive. It's an active, intentional act that builds bridges between people. When you truly listen, you're giving a gift that is increasingly rare in today's fast-paced, self-focused world: your undivided attention. This doesn't mean waiting for your turn to talk or formulating a response in your head while the other person is speaking. It means being fully present, absorbing their words, and responding with genuine curiosity or empathy. This level of attentiveness transforms relationships, creating trust, understanding, and a sense of mutual respect. The dilution of respect caused by over-talking often goes unnoticed by the person doing it. They may feel that their energy or enthusiasm is being well received, but to others, it can come across as overwhelming, self-centered, or even dismissive. Excessive talking can also lead to miscommunication. The more words you use, the greater the chances that your meaning gets lost in the clutter. Precision in speech isn't just about clarity. It's about honoring the time and attention of those listening. When you respect others' time, they, in turn, respect you. Being concise doesn't mean suppressing your voice or cutting corners in communication. It's about valuing every word you speak as a tool to convey meaning, build connection, or inspire action. The power of concise speech is evident in leaders, mentors, and role models who can articulate complex ideas with simplicity and impact. Their words stay with you, not because they're loud or frequent, but because they resonate on a deeper level. A common trap of over-talking is the tendency to over-explain. Many people feel the need to justify their thoughts or actions with lengthy explanations, hoping to ensure that they're fully understood. But ironically, over-explaining often has the opposite effect. It can make your message feel convoluted, leaving others disengaged or even skeptical of your intentions. Trust is built through clarity and authenticity, not excessive elaboration. Another way over-talking undermines respect is by creating a sense of predictability. When someone always has something to say, their words lose the element of surprise or intrigue. They may be well-meaning, but their constant commentary can come across as noise rather than insight. In contrast, those who speak sparingly but meaningfully are often seen as wise, thoughtful, and deliberate. Their silence isn't emptiness. It's a reflection of their ability to process and prioritize before speaking. Choosing your words carefully also allows you to avoid unnecessary conflicts. Many arguments escalate because people feel the need to have the last word or to fill silences with impulsive responses. By practicing restraint, you create space for resolution instead of prolonging tension. This doesn't mean avoiding difficult conversations. It means approaching them with mindfulness and intention, ensuring that your words contribute to understanding rather than division. The way you speak also influences how others perceive your credibility. People are more likely to trust someone who speaks thoughtfully than someone who talks excessively without substance. Over-talking can sometimes give the impression of overcompensation, as if you're trying to prove something rather than simply expressing yourself. Credibility is built not through the quantity of your words, but through their quality. When your speech reflects knowledge, integrity, and purpose, it becomes a powerful tool for influence. Resisting the urge to overtalk requires self-awareness and practice. It's not about silencing yourself entirely, but about tuning into the rhythm of conversations and finding the right moments to contribute. This balance isn't just respectful to others, it's liberating for you. When you let go of the need to constantly speak, you create more room for listening, learning, and observing the world around you. Silence, when used intentionally, becomes a source of strength. It allows you to observe without judgment, respond without haste, and connect without distraction. It teaches you to value the weight of your words and the power of your presence. By speaking less, you're not diminishing your voice, you're amplifying its impact. You're choosing to let your words serve a purpose rather than simply fill the air. The next time you feel the urge to over-explain, dominate a conversation, or fill an awkward silence, pause. Take a breath. Reflect on whether your words will add value to the moment. If they will, speak with clarity and intention. If they won't, let the silence speak for itself. In that space, you'll find not just respect from others, but also a deeper respect for yourself. Your words have the power to inspire, to heal, to connect. But that power isn't in how many you use. It's in how thoughtfully you use them. Choose them wisely and let silence do the rest. When words are chosen with care, they carry weight and purpose. But sometimes, the true power in communication lies in what you don't say. Listening, a skill so often overlooked, is where real connections are forged. It's in the pause, the attention, and the space you give to others that trust is built and relationships deepen. While many focus on perfecting how they express themselves, fewer understand the profound impact of learning how to truly listen. This is not just a lesson in communication, it's a path to understanding, empathy, and unshakable trust. Let's explore the transformative power of listening and the way silence can open doors that words often fail to. Listening is an act of generosity. It's offering someone the most precious resource you have, your attention. In a world where distractions are endless and people are constantly vying for attention, giving someone the full focus of your mind is a rare and deeply appreciated gift. It's not just about hearing the words they say, it's about engaging with their emotions, understanding their intentions, and validating their experiences. This act of presence, when done sincerely, creates a bond that no amount of eloquent speaking can replicate. When you focus on listening rather than speaking, you allow others to feel valued. This simple act can transform the way people perceive you. They no longer see you as someone who merely waits for their turn to talk, but as someone who genuinely cares about their thoughts and feelings. This shift in perception fosters trust and respect, creating a foundation for meaningful and lasting relationships. Trust isn't built through words alone. It's nurtured in the quiet moments of attention and understanding. The act of listening also has a way of diffusing tension and resolving conflict. When people feel heard, they are less likely to cling to defensiveness or anger. Silence, paired with genuine listening, acts as a balm for misunderstandings. It shows that you're willing to hear another person's perspective without interrupting or invalidating their feelings. This approach not only de-escalates conflicts, but also creates an environment where solutions can emerge organically. By prioritizing understanding over the need to be heard, you foster an atmosphere of mutual respect and collaboration. Listening is also an incredible tool for gaining insight. When you resist the urge to fill silences or steer conversations back to yourself, you create space to learn. People often reveal their thoughts, motivations, and even vulnerabilities when they feel truly listened to. These insights can deepen your understanding of others, making you more empathetic and capable of responding with wisdom. Silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's the presence of awareness. Through it, you gain the clarity to see beyond words and into the emotions and intentions that drive them. When you listen more than you speak, you also create opportunities for others to discover their own solutions. Sometimes people don't need advice or answers, they simply need someone to hold space for them. By refraining from jumping in with your thoughts or suggestions, you empower others to explore their feelings and find clarity on their own. This kind of listening isn't passive. It's an active, intentional practice that communicates respect and confidence in the other person's ability to navigate their challenges. Silence in listening also enhances your ability to read non-verbal cues. When you're not preoccupied with formulating your next point or interrupting, you become more attuned to the subtle language of body movements, facial expressions, and tone. These unspoken elements often carry more weight than the words themselves, revealing truths that might otherwise go unnoticed. This deeper level of understanding strengthens your ability to connect with others on an emotional and intuitive level. True listening also requires humility. It demands that you set aside your ego and let go of the need to be right or to dominate the conversation. This doesn't mean devaluing your own voice, but rather recognizing that every interaction is an opportunity to learn. When you listen without an agenda, you open yourself up to new perspectives and ideas, expanding your worldview in the process. This willingness to learn from others, no matter their background or opinions, demonstrates maturity and fosters mutual respect. Listening transforms relationships by building a foundation of empathy. It's in those moments of quiet attentiveness that you demonstrate your willingness to understand another person's reality, even if it differs from your own. Empathy isn't about agreeing with everything someone says. It's about acknowledging their feelings and experiences without judgment. This creates a sense of safety and connection that encourages open and honest communication. When you cultivate the habit of listening deeply, you also improve your ability to communicate effectively. By understanding others more fully, you're better equipped to respond in ways that resonate with their needs and feelings. Your words become more thoughtful, your advice more relevant, and your interactions more meaningful. This isn't just about being polite, it's about creating conversations that leave a lasting positive impact. The practice of listening also strengthens your self-awareness. When you're truly present with someone, you become more attuned to your own reactions, biases, and patterns of thinking. This awareness helps you approach conversations with greater mindfulness and intentionality. It allows you to catch yourself when you're tempted to interrupt or judge, redirecting your focus back to understanding the other person. Over time, this practice fosters emotional intelligence and self-control, qualities that enrich every area of your life. Listening is a discipline that requires practice and patience. It's not about staying silent while someone talks. It's about actively engaging with their words and emotions. This might mean asking thoughtful questions, paraphrasing to confirm understanding, or simply nodding to show that you're present. These small acts of engagement signal that you're not just hearing, they show that you're truly listening. The beauty of listening lies in its simplicity. It doesn't require elaborate techniques or extensive knowledge. It only requires your willingness to be present. Yet, despite its simplicity, its impact is profound. By choosing to listen more and speak less, you create a ripple effect that touches every interaction, deepens every relationship, and enhances every aspect of your communication. Silence, in the context of listening, isn't about withholding your thoughts or opinions. It's about creating a space where others feel safe to express themselves. It's about valuing their words enough to pause and give them your full attention. This act of respect not only elevates your relationships, but also enriches your own understanding of the world. The power of listening is that it goes beyond words. It reaches into the core of human connection, reminding us that we're not alone in our experiences. It bridges gaps of misunderstanding, mends fractures in relationships, and fosters a sense of belonging that words alone cannot achieve. In a noisy world, the ability to listen deeply and attentively is a gift that few possess, but one that everyone values. When you master the art of listening, you become a person others trust, admire, and seek out. Your presence becomes a source of comfort and clarity, and your relationships thrive in ways you never thought possible. It's not the volume of your words that matters, it's the depth of your understanding. Through listening, you discover the true essence of connection: to see, hear, and value another person without the need to dominate or control. The journey to becoming a better listener is one of patience, humility, and self-awareness. It's a practice that challenges you to grow, to let go of your own need for attention, and to focus on the needs of others. But the rewards are immeasurable. In choosing to listen, you unlock the power of silence and the profound impact it has on fostering trust, empathy, and understanding in every aspect of your life. The power of listening creates trust, connection, and understanding, but it also teaches an essential lesson. Not everything needs to be spoken. In a world that constantly demands us to share, to post, and to open up, knowing what to withhold becomes a form of wisdom. Privacy is not secrecy, it's discretion, a way of protecting the parts of yourself that deserve to stay sacred. The words you choose to hold back can be as impactful as the ones you share, defining your boundaries, preserving your dignity, and shielding your peace. When you speak too freely, you open doors that should have remained closed. Oversharing often stems from a desire to connect or be understood, but it can lead to unintended consequences. Sharing too much too soon can make you vulnerable to judgment, manipulation, or exploitation. It's a human instinct to want others to know us, but in the rush to reveal ourselves, we sometimes forget that not everyone deserves full access to our lives. Silence is a filter, allowing you to decide who earns the right to know your story. Oversharing can erode your boundaries. Each time you disclose something personal without thought, you chip away at the invisible line that protects your emotional and mental space. Boundaries are not walls, they're fences with gates, and you control who passes through. Speaking less helps you maintain those gates, giving you the power to choose what remains private and what can be shared. When you protect your privacy, you create a sense of mystery. This isn't about being aloof or secretive, it's about maintaining an aura of dignity and self-respect. People are naturally drawn to those who don't disclose everything because it signals self-control and confidence. Oversharing, on the other hand, can diminish your value in their eyes, making you seem careless with your thoughts and emotions. Privacy also preserves your relationships. Sharing intimate details with someone who hasn't earned your trust can backfire. What seems like openness in the moment can later feel like vulnerability exposed to the wrong person. People may not always handle your personal information with care, and the pain of betrayal often stems from revealing too much to the wrong audience. Silence acts as a safeguard, protecting your relationships from unnecessary strain or misunderstandings. The act of withholding information isn't about deceit, it's about discernment. Not every thought, feeling, or experience needs to be verbalized. Oversharing often creates unnecessary noise, cluttering the space for meaningful communication. When you reserve your words, you give yourself time to process your emotions, ensuring that what you do share is intentional and valuable. Silence also protects your goals and aspirations. Speaking too freely about your dreams can invite doubt, criticism, or even sabotage from others. Not everyone will celebrate your ambitions. Some may even use your vulnerability to diminish your confidence. By keeping your plans private, you preserve their power and allow yourself the freedom to pursue them without external interference. This isn't about secrecy. It's about ensuring that your goals remain untainted by negativity or unsolicited opinions. When you choose silence over oversharing, you create a space for self-reflection. Privacy allows you to sit with your thoughts, to understand them fully before sharing them with others. This process of reflection builds self-awareness and emotional resilience. It teaches you to rely on your inner strength rather than seeking validation or support from external sources. The more you cultivate this practice, the less you feel the need to overshare, because you find peace within yourself. Oversharing can also impact your professional life. In the workplace, revealing too much personal information can blur boundaries and affect how others perceive you. While it's important to build rapport with colleagues, there's a fine line between connection and overexposure. Maintaining a level of professionalism ensures that your contributions are valued for their merit rather than overshadowed by personal disclosures. Silence in this context reinforces your credibility and respectability. In friendships, oversharing can create imbalances. When one person constantly discloses deeply personal details, it can overwhelm the relationship, leaving the other person feeling burdened or uncomfortable. Silence, paired with thoughtful sharing, creates a healthier dynamic where both parties feel respected and valued. It fosters a sense of mutual trust rather than one-sided vulnerability. Protecting your privacy also shields you from unnecessary drama. Oversharing often leads to misinterpretation, gossip, or conflict, as others may twist or misuse your words. Silence minimizes these risks by keeping your personal matters within a trusted circle. It allows you to maintain control over your narrative, ensuring that your story isn't told by others in ways that you didn't intend. The digital age has amplified the dangers of oversharing. Social media, with its constant invitation to post updates, has blurred the line between public and private life. Every photo, status, or comment becomes a piece of your story, accessible to an audience that may not have your best interests at heart. Choosing what to share and what to withhold is a modern form of wisdom. Silence on these platforms doesn't mean disengagement, it means intentionality, a way of curating your digital presence while protecting your real-life peace. Oversharing can also create emotional exhaustion. The act of constantly explaining yourself, justifying your feelings, or recounting personal experiences can drain your energy. Silence, in contrast, replenishes your emotional reserves. It gives you the space to process your experiences privately without the added burden of external opinions or reactions. This internal processing strengthens your resilience, allowing you to face challenges with clarity and composure. By valuing your privacy, you also teach others how to treat you. When you establish boundaries through silence, you signal that your time, energy, and personal life are worth protecting. This not only earns respect, but also sets a standard for how others interact with you. People are less likely to overstep your boundaries when they see that you uphold them consistently. Protecting your privacy isn't about withdrawing from the world. It's about engaging with it on your terms. It's about recognizing that not every part of you needs to be visible to be valid. Silence allows you to cultivate an inner world that is rich, peaceful, and deeply yours. It's a reminder that your worth isn't determined by how much you share, but by how thoughtfully you choose to share it. When you embrace the power of silence, you find freedom. Freedom from the need to overshare, from the fear of judgment, and from the chaos that comes with overexposure. This freedom allows you to live with intention, to build relationships based on trust and respect, and to protect the parts of yourself that matter most. In choosing silence, you choose yourself, and that is a choice worth making every time. Privacy shields you from vulnerability, protecting your boundaries and preserving the peace that comes from choosing what to share and what to hold back. But what happens when those boundaries extend to others? The way you speak about people in their absence says more about your character than any other form of communication. Gossip, the act of discussing others when they aren't present, may feel harmless in the moment, but its effects ripple far beyond the conversation. This habit erodes trust, damages reputations, and reflects poorly on the speaker. Let's explore how avoiding gossip not only protects others, but also elevates your integrity, wisdom, and respectability. Gossip begins as a seemingly innocent exchange. A remark about someone's behavior, a comment on their choices, or speculation about their life can feel like a way to bond with others. Yet, the cost of this behavior is rarely considered in the moment. Gossip often thrives on exaggeration and half-truths, spreading stories that may not even be accurate. Engaging in gossip not only misrepresents the person being discussed, but also damages the credibility of the speaker. Trust is fragile, and when you're known to gossip, people begin to wonder what you might say about them when they're not around. Speaking negatively about others creates an atmosphere of distrust. Even those who listen to the gossip may start questioning your loyalty. If you're willing to discuss someone else's flaws or personal matters, what's to stop you from doing the same to them? Gossip, while it may seem like a way to connect, ultimately isolates you, creating invisible barriers in your relationships. Silence, in contrast, builds trust. When you refuse to speak ill of others, you send a message that you value integrity and discretion. Gossip also diminishes your reputation. People remember those who speak with care and those who don't. Being associated with gossip can make you appear petty, untrustworthy, or even malicious. Your words are a reflection of your values, and when those words are used to tear others down, it reflects a lack of self-respect and maturity. Silence, on the other hand, conveys thoughtfulness. It shows that you're not quick to judge or criticize, but rather that you prioritize understanding and empathy. Engaging in gossip often stems from insecurity. Speaking about others can create a temporary sense of superiority or validation, but this feeling is fleeting. It's a false sense of connection that relies on someone else's perceived flaws to make you feel better about yourself. True confidence doesn't require comparison or criticism. It comes from self-assurance and the ability to lift others up rather than tear them down. Choosing silence over gossip demonstrates strength and self-control, qualities that command respect and admiration. Gossip can also lead to unintended consequences. Words spoken carelessly have a way of finding their way back to the person they're about, causing hurt feelings, damaged relationships, and unnecessary drama. Even when the gossip is not malicious, it can still create misunderstandings and conflicts. By choosing not to participate in these conversations, you avoid being the source of pain or confusion. Silence acts as a shield, protecting you from the fallout of words that should never have been spoken. There's a difference between venting and gossiping. Venting is expressing your feelings about a situation, often to seek advice or clarity. Gossip, however, is discussing someone else's life without their knowledge or consent, often with no constructive purpose. Recognizing this distinction is crucial in building your character. When you vent, it should be with the intention of resolving your emotions, not at the expense of someone else's dignity. Gossip, on the other hand, serves no productive purpose and only spreads negativity. Silence doesn't mean complacency, it means discernment. There are times when speaking up about someone's behavior is necessary, especially if it's to protect yourself or others from harm. But these situations require careful consideration and should never be confused with idle gossip. When your words are used to bring clarity or address issues directly, they have value. When they're used to speculate or criticize behind someone's back, they lose their integrity. Refusing to gossip also fosters a sense of community. When people know they can trust you to keep their personal matters private, it strengthens your relationships. You become a source of safety and reliability, someone who values others' dignity as much as your own. This reputation for trustworthiness doesn't just benefit those around you, it enriches your own sense of self-respect. Silence in this context is not passive, it's active protection of your values and relationships. Gossip thrives in environments where silence is misunderstood. Choosing not to engage may feel awkward or isolating in the moment, but it sets a powerful precedent. When you resist the urge to contribute to gossip, you inspire others to do the same. Your silence becomes a statement, a refusal to participate in negativity, and a commitment to fostering respect and understanding. Over time, this choice reshapes the dynamics of your interactions, creating a culture of integrity rather than division. Gossip also has a way of perpetuating stereotypes and biases. By spreading stories about others, especially those based on assumptions or incomplete information, you contribute to a cycle of judgment and misunderstanding. Choosing silence helps break this cycle. It allows you to approach people and situations with an open mind, free from the influence of hearsay or prejudice. This perspective not only benefits your relationships, but also enriches your own understanding of the world. Resisting gossip requires self-awareness. It's easy to fall into the habit of discussing others, especially when it feels like everyone else is doing it. But by paying attention to your own words and motivations, you can recognize when a conversation is veering into gossip and make the conscious choice to step back. This self-awareness extends beyond speech. It shapes your thoughts, encouraging you to focus on positivity and understanding rather than criticism and judgment. The benefits of avoiding gossip extend to your own mental well-being. Speaking negatively about others often leaves a lingering sense of guilt or discomfort, even if the momentary pleasure of sharing seemed satisfying. Silence, in contrast, creates peace of mind. When you refrain from gossip, you free yourself from the burden of regret and the fear of being caught in a web of negativity. This choice allows you to move through life with a clear conscience and a stronger sense of inner harmony. Choosing silence doesn't mean avoiding all conversations about others. It means choosing how and when to speak about them. If your words are kind, constructive, or necessary, they hold value. If they're driven by judgment, speculation, or the need to impress, they're better left unsaid. This practice of discernment not only protects others, but also elevates your own sense of integrity. Ultimately, the choice to avoid gossip is a choice to value yourself and others. It's a commitment to treating people with respect, whether they're present or not. This commitment strengthens your relationships, enhances your reputation, and fosters a sense of trust that is increasingly rare. Silence in the face of gossip isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's the recognition that your words have power and the decision to use that power for good. When you choose silence over gossip, you set yourself apart. You become someone others look up to, someone they trust, and someone they want to emulate. This choice may not always be easy, but it is always worth it. Through silence, you protect your reputation, preserve your relationships, and cultivate a sense of peace that can only come from knowing you've stayed true to your values. In a world filled with noise, your quiet strength speaks volumes. When words are spoken carelessly about others, the harm they do is often immediate and irreversible. But what happens when those words stray into unfamiliar territory, when someone speaks about things they don't fully understand? This is where another subtle erosion begins, one that affects not just relationships, but also personal credibility. Speaking without knowledge is a trap many fall into, often driven by the need to appear informed or impressive. Yet, it achieves the opposite, diminishing respect and trust in ways that are hard to repair. This isn't just about being wrong, it's about how thoughtless words can tarnish perceptions and weaken connections. Words have a way of reflecting your inner world. They reveal not just what you know, but also how you think and process information. When you speak on a topic without understanding it, you risk exposing gaps in your knowledge rather than showcasing your intelligence. This doesn't mean you must always remain silent on unfamiliar subjects, but it does mean that when you choose to speak, your words should be grounded in honesty and clarity rather than assumptions or guesswork. Speaking without knowledge can make you appear overconfident or, worse, careless with the truth. The respect you earn in any interaction often comes from how you handle what you don't know. Acknowledging your limitations demonstrates humility, a trait that commands admiration far more than pretending to be well-versed in every topic. People value authenticity over pretense. A simple statement like, "I'm not familiar with that, but I'd love to learn more," speaks volumes about your character. It shows that you value truth over ego and learning over appearances, which are qualities that naturally draw people to you. Speaking without knowledge often stems from a fear of appearing uninformed. Many people feel pressured to contribute to conversations even when they have little to add. This insecurity can lead to overcompensation, saying more than necessary in an effort to seem knowledgeable. However, this usually backfires, as others quickly pick up on the lack of substance behind the words. Silence, or thoughtful restraint, is a far better alternative. It conveys self-assurance, showing that you don't need to speak on every topic to assert your value. Another danger of speaking without understanding is the spread of misinformation. Words have influence, and when they're based on incorrect assumptions, they can mislead others, sometimes with significant consequences. Whether it's in personal relationships, workplace discussions, or public forums, sharing inaccurate information can damage your reputation and the trust others place in you. People begin to question not just your knowledge, but also your judgment and reliability. Maintaining credibility requires a commitment to truth, even when it means admitting you don't have all the answers. When you talk about something you don't fully understand, it can also reveal a lack of critical thinking. Conversations aren't just about exchanging information, they're about demonstrating how you process and interpret what you know. Speaking without thought or understanding makes you appear superficial, as though you value speaking more than engaging deeply with the subject. Silence, in contrast, allows you to observe, absorb, and respond thoughtfully when you're ready. It shows that you respect the complexity of a topic and the intelligence of those you're speaking with. The impact of speaking without knowledge extends to relationships. When people realize you often talk about things you don't understand, they may begin to see your words as unreliable. Over time, this perception can weaken the trust and respect that form the foundation of meaningful connections. People want to feel that the words they hear, especially from someone they care about or work with, are thoughtful and credible. Consistently failing to meet this expectation creates distance and doubt. In professional settings, speaking without knowledge can have even greater repercussions. Credibility is a cornerstone of success in any field, and it's built through a consistent display of competence and integrity. When you speak on a topic without fully understanding it, you risk undermining your authority and expertise. Colleagues and clients may begin to question your insights, even in areas where you are well versed. Protecting your professional reputation requires not only knowing your strengths, but also recognizing and respecting your limitations. Respect isn't about knowing everything. It's about being honest about what you do know and showing a willingness to learn. This openness to growth is what earns admiration and trust. When you speak thoughtfully and with intention, even in unfamiliar situations, people recognize the care and effort you put into your words. This creates a lasting impression of reliability and integrity, far more impactful than attempting to impress through hollow statements. Listening plays a crucial role in avoiding the pitfalls of speaking without understanding. When you're willing to step back and let others share their knowledge, you gain valuable insights that deepen your understanding. Listening isn't just about gathering information, it's about showing respect for the expertise and experiences of others. This act of humility enriches conversations and relationships while allowing you to contribute meaningfully when the time comes. The temptation to fill silence with words often leads to unnecessary missteps. Silence, when used wisely, creates space for reflection and intentionality. It allows you to weigh the relevance and accuracy of your contributions before speaking. This discipline not only enhances your credibility, but also encourages others to approach you with the same level of thoughtfulness and respect. In personal relationships, speaking without understanding can create misunderstandings and unnecessary conflict. When you make assumptions or express opinions without fully grasping the context, it can lead to hurt feelings or miscommunication. Relationships thrive on trust and clarity, both of which are weakened by careless words. Practicing restraint and seeking to understand before responding fosters stronger connections and mutual respect. One of the greatest strengths in conversation is the ability to ask thoughtful questions. When you encounter a topic you don't know much about, asking rather than asserting shows curiosity and a genuine desire to learn. This approach not only prevents the pitfalls of speaking without knowledge, but also opens the door to deeper, more meaningful dialogue. People are often more impressed by someone who listens and inquires than by someone who speaks without substance. The fear of being perceived as uninformed often drives people to overcompensate with unnecessary explanations or unwarranted confidence. However, admitting when you don't know something is a sign of strength, not weakness. It demonstrates self-awareness and a commitment to growth, qualities that inspire trust and admiration. By embracing this mindset, you free yourself from the pressure to always have the right answers and instead focus on building genuine understanding. Speaking without knowledge can also hinder your personal growth. When you rely on surface-level understanding to navigate conversations, you miss the opportunity to deepen your knowledge and develop critical thinking skills. By choosing to listen and learn rather than speak prematurely, you cultivate a mindset of continuous improvement. This approach enriches not only your conversations, but also your overall intellectual and emotional development. The respect you lose by speaking without understanding can take a long time to rebuild. People remember when words mislead, misrepresent, or cause harm. Protecting your credibility requires vigilance and a commitment to thoughtful communication. Every interaction is an opportunity to either strengthen or weaken the trust others place in you. By prioritizing accuracy, honesty, and humility, you ensure that your words consistently build rather than erode that trust. Choosing silence over speaking without knowledge is not about retreating from conversations. It's about contributing to them meaningfully. When you speak from a place of understanding, your words carry weight and authority. They resonate with others and leave a lasting impression of thoughtfulness and reliability. This is the essence of effective communication, not speaking for the sake of being heard, but speaking to make an impact. The respect you gain from this approach far outweighs any fleeting validation that comes from speaking without substance. The words left unspoken when knowledge is lacking preserve your credibility and strengthen your relationships. Yet, beyond this, silence offers another profound advantage. It acts as a shield against misunderstandings and unnecessary conflict. In a world where communication can so easily become tangled in assumptions and emotional reactions, measured silence is a tool of clarity and peace. It allows space for thought, reflection, and understanding to emerge before words create divisions that might have been avoided. Choosing silence is not avoidance. It is a deliberate act of wisdom, a pause that protects both yourself and those you interact with from the chaos of hastily spoken words. Silence is a barrier between impulse and action. In moments of tension or disagreement, the natural response for many is to speak immediately, to defend, justify, or retaliate. However, this instinct often escalates the situation, as words spoken in haste are rarely constructive. By choosing silence, you create a pause in which emotions can settle. This pause is not a void, it is a space of potential where clarity can take root. It allows you to consider the situation more deeply, to evaluate not only what you want to say, but whether saying anything at all will serve the moment. Misunderstandings often arise not from a lack of words, but from the wrong choice of words. When people speak without considering the emotions, context, or nuances of a situation, they risk being misinterpreted. Silence, however, eliminates this risk. It conveys patience and restraint, signaling that you are taking the time to fully understand before responding. This approach diffuses tension and invites others to do the same, creating an environment where communication is more thoughtful and less reactive. Conflict thrives on misunderstanding. Words spoken without care can fuel assumptions, heighten emotions, and solidify divisions. Silence interrupts this cycle. By refraining from speaking when emotions are high or facts are unclear, you prevent conflicts from escalating unnecessarily. Silence acts as a neutral ground, a pause that allows for a shift in perspective. It demonstrates that you value resolution over winning an argument, which can inspire others to approach the situation with the same level of maturity. Silence also protects your intentions from being distorted. In moments of frustration or disagreement, it's easy to say things that are later regretted, words that may misrepresent your true feelings or escalate the conflict. Measured silence prevents this. It ensures that when you do speak, your words are intentional and reflective of your values. This deliberate approach reduces the chances of your message being misunderstood or misused. In relationships, silence fosters understanding. When disagreements arise, speaking less and listening more can reveal underlying emotions or concerns that might otherwise go unnoticed. Silence creates a space where others feel safe to express themselves fully, without the fear of immediate judgment or interruption. This deepens the connection and makes it easier to address the root of the issue rather than just the surface-level symptoms. In this way, silence becomes not just a shield, but a bridge to greater empathy and resolution. Choosing silence in moments of potential conflict also demonstrates emotional intelligence. It shows that you are aware of your own triggers and capable of regulating your responses. This self-awareness is a sign of strength, not weakness. It signals to others that you are not controlled by your emotions, but instead guided by thoughtful intention. This approach not only prevents misunderstandings, but also earns respect, as people recognize the effort and discipline required to remain calm and composed under pressure. Silence doesn't mean disengaging or suppressing your feelings. It means channeling them constructively. When faced with a disagreement, taking a moment of silence allows you to assess the situation more objectively. It gives you time to consider the other person's perspective, to weigh your words carefully, and to decide on the most effective way to address the issue. This process reduces the likelihood of miscommunication and ensures that your response contributes to resolution rather than further conflict. One of the most powerful aspects of silence is its ability to de-escalate. When one person chooses not to react impulsively, it often diffuses the tension for both parties. Silence creates a pause in which emotions can cool and reason can prevail. This pause is a gift, offering the opportunity for everyone involved to reflect and reset before continuing the conversation. It's a simple but profound way to prevent small disagreements from spiraling into larger conflicts. Silence also protects your energy. Engaging in unnecessary arguments or trying to correct every misunderstanding can be exhausting and unproductive. By choosing silence, you conserve your mental and emotional resources for situations that truly matter. This doesn't mean ignoring issues that need to be addressed. It means recognizing which battles are worth fighting and which are better left alone. Silence is a form of self-care, a way of maintaining your peace in a world that often pulls you toward chaos. In professional settings, silence can be a strategic tool for avoiding misunderstandings. Workplace conflicts often arise from misinterpretations or poorly chosen words. By listening more and speaking less, you gain a clearer understanding of the dynamics at play. Silence allows you to observe, gather information, and respond in a way that is measured and effective. This approach not only minimizes conflict, but also enhances your reputation as someone who is thoughtful and level-headed. Silence also teaches you to value timing in communication. There are moments when saying nothing speaks louder than any words could. A well-timed silence can convey respect, show that you're actively listening, or signal that you're giving a situation the thought it deserves. It's a powerful way to communicate without risking misinterpretation or escalating tensions. Timing isn't just about when to speak, it's also about when not to. In personal relationships, silence can serve as a form of emotional support. When someone is upset or struggling, they often need a listening ear more than they need advice or solutions. By offering your presence without filling the space with words, you show that you're there for them in a way that words alone can't convey. This kind of silence is not passive. It's deeply active and intentional, a way of holding space for someone to feel seen and heard. Silence also cultivates patience. It teaches you to resist the urge to react immediately, to sit with discomfort, and to trust that not every situation requires your input. This patience extends to others, as you learn to give people the time and space they need to express themselves fully. In doing so, you create a more harmonious dynamic, one that prioritizes understanding over urgency. Choosing silence is an act of empowerment. It puts you in control of your words, your emotions, and your interactions. It allows you to navigate conflicts with grace and intention, preserving your relationships and your peace of mind. While it may feel counterintuitive in a world that often equates silence with passivity, it is, in fact, one of the most active and impactful choices you can make. By embracing silence as a shield, you protect yourself from the chaos of unnecessary arguments and misinterpretations. You create a space for clarity, understanding, and resolution to emerge naturally. This isn't about avoiding conflict. It's about approaching it with wisdom and care. Silence, when used intentionally, becomes a powerful tool for navigating the complexities of communication and maintaining harmony in your relationships. It's not the absence of speech, it's the presence of thought, respect, and purpose. Choosing silence can prevent misunderstandings, de-escalate conflicts, and preserve relationships. But silence is also a tool for self-preservation, especially when it comes to your goals and ambitions. The urge to share plans and dreams can be powerful, fueled by excitement or a desire for encouragement. Yet, speaking too soon often creates a false sense of accomplishment and saps the motivation needed to follow through. When words replace actions, the promise of what could be risks becoming nothing more than empty potential. Let's delve into how prematurely sharing your goals can work against you and why silence can be your greatest ally in achieving them. Words have power, but that power is diluted when they are spoken without purpose. Declaring your plans before taking action often gives a fleeting sense of fulfillment, as if the act of speaking them aloud is equivalent to achieving them. This psychological phenomenon, called goal substitution, tricks your mind into feeling rewarded simply for expressing your intent. While the affirmation from others can feel good in the moment, it can diminish the internal drive required to bring those plans to life. Silence protects your focus by keeping the sense of urgency alive, driving you to act rather than talk. Sharing your plans too early can also expose them to unnecessary scrutiny. Well-meaning advice or unsolicited criticism from others can derail your confidence or shift your priorities. When a goal is still in its infancy, it's vulnerable, easily swayed by external influences. Silence allows you to nurture your ideas in private, free from the noise of other people's opinions. It creates a protective space where your goals can grow stronger, supported only by your commitment and effort. There is a distinct satisfaction in letting your actions speak louder than your words. Achievements born of quiet work carry more weight because they are rooted in substance, not speculation. When you constantly talk about what you plan to do, you risk creating an image of yourself based on potential rather than results. Over time, this habit can erode how others perceive your reliability. People are far more impressed by what you accomplish than by what you say you will do. Silence ensures that when you do share, it's backed by tangible outcomes. Prematurely sharing your plans can also increase the pressure to succeed, not because of your own expectations, but because of those projected onto you by others. While some might argue that external accountability can be motivating, it often adds unnecessary stress. The fear of failing in front of an audience can lead to anxiety or even cause you to abandon your goal altogether. Silence, in contrast, allows you to work at your own pace, free from the burden of public expectation. It transforms your journey into a deeply personal endeavor, guided by intrinsic motivation rather than external validation. When you talk too much about your plans, you also risk losing momentum. Every conversation about your goals requires energy that could be better spent on taking concrete steps toward achieving them. Silence helps you conserve this energy, directing it toward action rather than discussion. It shifts your focus from seeking approval or admiration to making measurable progress. This quiet discipline builds not only your confidence, but also your ability to follow through. Keeping your plans to yourself also cultivates a sense of self-reliance. When you rely on others for encouragement or validation, you make your success dependent on external factors. Silence reinforces your ability to draw motivation from within, strengthening your resolve and independence. It teaches you to trust your instincts, to believe in your vision without needing constant reassurance. This internal strength is what sustains you when challenges arise, ensuring that your commitment remains unshaken. Silence doesn't mean secrecy for its own sake. It's about timing and intentionality. There's a right moment to share your goals, and that moment is often after you've taken meaningful steps toward them. Sharing too soon can create the illusion of progress without any real foundation, while waiting until you have results to show adds credibility to your words. This approach not only preserves your integrity, but also inspires others to take your aspirations seriously. The act of keeping your plans private also sharpens your focus. Without the distractions of external input or the temptation to seek praise, you're better able to concentrate on what truly matters. Silence eliminates the clutter of unnecessary conversations, leaving you with a clear path forward. It allows you to align your actions with your priorities, ensuring that every step you take brings you closer to your goal. Sharing plans prematurely can also make you more susceptible to self-doubt. The more opinions you hear, the more likely you are to question your approach or second-guess your decisions. This doubt can paralyze progress, trapping you in a cycle of indecision. Silence breaks this cycle by keeping your vision intact, unclouded by the uncertainties of others. It empowers you to move forward with confidence, trusting your own judgment above all else. There's also a humility in letting your achievements speak for themselves. When you focus on doing rather than talking, you demonstrate a quiet confidence that commands respect. People are drawn to those who act with purpose and discipline, who don't feel the need to constantly broadcast their intentions. Silence in this context becomes a form of leadership, inspiring others through example rather than words. One of the greatest benefits of staying silent about your plans is the freedom it provides to adapt and evolve. When you haven't publicly declared your intentions, you're free to change direction without fear of judgment. This flexibility allows you to respond to challenges creatively, exploring new possibilities without being tied to a narrative you've already shared. Silence gives you the space to grow, to refine your vision, and to pivot when necessary, all without the weight of external expectations. Keeping your plans private also fosters a deeper connection with your goals. When you're not sharing them with others, you're forced to engage with them on a more intimate level. This introspection strengthens your commitment as you're constantly reminded of why your goals matter to you. It's this personal connection that fuels perseverance, driving you to overcome obstacles and stay the course. The power of silence lies in its ability to preserve the sanctity of your ambitions. Goals are deeply personal, born of your unique experiences, values, and dreams. Sharing them too freely can dilute their significance, making them feel less like yours and more like something that belongs to everyone. Silence ensures that your goals remain a reflection of your truest self, protected from the influence of others. There's a beauty in unveiling your achievements only after they've been realized. The surprise and admiration that come from seeing someone accomplish something remarkable without constant updates along the way are far more impactful than the fleeting attention given to unfulfilled promises. By choosing silence, you create an element of surprise that enhances the significance of your success, making it all the more meaningful to yourself and others. Silence teaches you to value action over words. It shifts your mindset from seeking validation to pursuing fulfillment, from talking about what you'll do to actually doing it. This shift is transformative, not just for your goals, but for every aspect of your life. It cultivates discipline, focus, and resilience, qualities that extend far beyond the pursuit of any single ambition. When you embrace silence as part of your journey, you gain more than just the ability to achieve your goals. You gain the confidence that comes from knowing you've done it on your terms. This confidence is unshakable because it's rooted in your actions, not in the opinions or approval of others. It's a quiet strength that carries you forward, propelling you toward success with clarity and purpose. Silence isn't the absence of communication, it's the presence of intention. It's a choice to prioritize action over talk, to value progress over praise, and to protect the integrity of your ambitions. By keeping your goals close to your heart and letting your achievements speak for themselves, you not only ensure their realization, but also inspire others to do the same. In a world that often equates noise with significance, silence becomes your most powerful tool for creating meaningful change. The power of silence in guarding your goals highlights a profound truth. The ability to pause, reflect, and act with intention is a discipline that transforms not just ambition, but every aspect of life. Nowhere is this more evident than in moments of emotional intensity. When anger flares, the impulse to speak out often overrides reason, creating words that harm relationships, escalate conflicts, and leave lasting regret. The cost of speaking in anger is high, but the rewards of restraint are immeasurable. Controlling emotional outbursts isn't about suppressing feelings. It's about mastering the art of responding instead of reacting. Anger, in its raw state, demands expression. It's a powerful emotion that, when unchecked, can take control of your words and actions. Yet, speaking in anger rarely resolves the issue at hand. Instead, it often intensifies the problem, as words spoken impulsively are seldom thoughtful or constructive. Restraint in such moments isn't weakness, it's a demonstration of strength. Choosing to remain silent when anger urges you to lash out is a profound act of self-control, one that preserves both your dignity and your relationships. Silence creates a necessary pause. When anger fuels your words, that pause is the difference between escalation and resolution. It allows emotions to settle and gives you the space to evaluate the situation objectively. During this pause, you can identify what's truly driving your anger and decide how best to address it. Without this space, words spill out unchecked, often missing the mark and creating unintended harm. Silence, in contrast, provides clarity, ensuring that when you do speak, your words carry purpose and precision. Speaking in anger often shifts the focus from the issue to the delivery. The content of what you're trying to express becomes secondary to the tone and intensity of your speech. This deflects attention from the problem, making resolution more difficult. Silence, on the other hand, keeps the focus where it belongs. By refusing to engage in emotional outbursts, you maintain control of the narrative, ensuring that the conversation remains productive rather than reactionary. One of the most damaging effects of speaking in anger is the erosion of trust. Words spoken impulsively can be harsh, unfair, or untrue, leaving others feeling attacked or misunderstood. Over time, this pattern undermines the foundation of trust in your relationships, making it harder for others to feel safe and valued. Silence, when used wisely, protects this trust. It shows that you respect the other person enough to choose your words carefully, even in moments of emotional intensity. Anger often distorts perception, making small issues feel larger and more personal than they are. Speaking in this state can lead to exaggerations, accusations, or conclusions that don't align with reality. Silence counters this distortion. By refraining from speaking until your emotions have subsided, you allow yourself to see the situation more clearly. This clarity not only improves your response, but also prevents unnecessary conflict, as you're less likely to react to perceived slights that may not exist. The ability to remain silent during moments of anger also preserves your credibility. People respect those who can maintain composure under pressure. Emotional outbursts, on the other hand, often leave an impression of immaturity or instability. Silence demonstrates discipline and control, traits that inspire confidence and respect. It shows that you're not ruled by your emotions, but can navigate them with intention and grace. Silence doesn't mean avoiding difficult conversations. It means approaching them with thoughtfulness and care. Anger often demands immediate expression, but this urgency is deceptive. Most issues benefit from a moment of reflection before being addressed. By choosing silence, you create the time and space needed to determine how best to communicate your feelings. This measured approach leads to more effective resolutions and strengthens your relationships rather than straining them. In professional settings, speaking in anger can have particularly damaging consequences. Emotional outbursts can harm your reputation, strain workplace relationships, and even jeopardize your career. Silence, in contrast, allows you to address conflicts with professionalism and composure. It ensures that your responses are seen as thoughtful and constructive rather than impulsive or hostile. This approach not only resolves issues more effectively, but also enhances your standing as a reliable and respected colleague. Silence during moments of anger also protects your emotional well-being. Speaking out in anger often leads to regret, as the words you've said can't be taken back. This regret can linger, creating stress and self-doubt. By choosing not to speak impulsively, you avoid this burden, maintaining a sense of peace and confidence in your ability to handle challenging situations. Silence becomes a tool for preserving not just your relationships, but also your inner calm. In personal relationships, the cost of speaking in anger is often highest. Words spoken without thought can wound deeply, leaving scars that take time and effort to heal. Silence in these moments is an act of care. It shows that you value the relationship enough to prioritize understanding over reaction. It creates space for empathy, allowing you to connect with the other person's perspective before responding. This empathy not only prevents unnecessary conflict, but also deepens the bond between you. Choosing silence in moments of anger also teaches you to listen. Anger often drowns out the voices of others, focusing solely on your own feelings and perspective. By remaining silent, you open yourself to hearing what the other person has to say. This listening fosters understanding and paves the way for meaningful dialogue. It shifts the dynamic from confrontation to collaboration, turning potential conflict into an opportunity for growth. Silence during anger doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It means giving yourself the time to process them fully before expressing them. This processing leads to greater self-awareness as you come to understand not just what you're feeling, but why you're feeling it. This understanding enhances your ability to communicate effectively, as you're better able to articulate your emotions and needs without resorting to blame or defensiveness. The ability to control your speech during moments of anger also strengthens your resilience. It teaches you to navigate emotional challenges with composure, building confidence in your ability to handle difficult situations. This resilience extends beyond anger, equipping you to respond thoughtfully to a wide range of emotions and experiences. Silence in this context becomes a cornerstone of emotional intelligence, a skill that benefits every aspect of your life. In social interactions, speaking in anger can alienate others. People are naturally drawn to those who exude calm and control, even in challenging situations. Silence during anger conveys these qualities, creating an impression of strength and stability. This impression not only enhances your relationships, but also inspires others to approach conflicts with the same level of care and consideration. The discipline of remaining silent in anger also fosters a sense of empowerment. It puts you in control of your words and actions, rather than allowing your emotions to dictate them. This control is liberating, as it enables you to respond to challenges with intention rather than reaction. It shifts the power dynamic, ensuring that you remain centered and focused even in moments of intensity. Over time, the habit of choosing silence during anger transforms your relationships and interactions. It creates a culture of respect, where emotions are acknowledged but not allowed to dominate. It fosters trust, as people come to see you as someone who values understanding over confrontation. And it deepens connections, as the absence of impulsive speech makes room for meaningful dialogue and resolution. Silence during moments of anger is not about avoidance, it's about choice. It's the choice to prioritize understanding over reaction, connection over conflict, and resolution over escalation. It's a skill that requires discipline, patience, and self-awareness, but the rewards are profound. By mastering this skill, you not only enhance your relationships, but also strengthen your character, creating a life marked by peace, purpose, and respect. Mastering restraint in moments of anger reveals a profound strength, an ability to navigate emotional challenges with clarity and purpose. This discipline of silence doesn't just prevent conflicts, it also opens a door to powerful strategic advantages, particularly in competitive environments. Whether in the workplace, social circles, or broader contexts, the ability to remain silent at the right moments can set you apart, earning respect, building influence, and enhancing your position. Silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's a calculated move that shifts dynamics, sharpens perception, and strengthens your control over any situation. In competitive environments, silence is a tool of observation. While others may rush to express their ideas, opinions, or concerns, staying quiet allows you to gather valuable information. People often reveal more than they intend when they fill silences with words. By listening intently, you gain insights into their priorities, strategies, and vulnerabilities. This information, gathered without direct inquiry, gives you a significant edge, as you can anticipate their moves and adjust your approach accordingly. Silence also conveys confidence. In competitive settings, those who speak less are often perceived as more self-assured. They don't feel the need to prove themselves with words, which makes their eventual contributions carry more weight. When you choose your words carefully and sparingly, people pay closer attention when you do speak. Your silence amplifies the significance of your voice, ensuring that your insights are remembered and respected. The strategic use of silence can also shift power dynamics. In negotiations or discussions, silence often puts the pressure on the other party. Many people are uncomfortable with silence and rush to fill it, sometimes revealing more than they intended or conceding points they wouldn't otherwise. This tactic isn't about manipulation, it's about creating space for thoughtful dialogue while maintaining control of the conversation. Silence in this context is a form of leadership. It signals that you are deliberate, measured, and unshaken by the fast pace of competitive interactions. In professional environments, silence enhances your reputation as a thoughtful and deliberate individual. When you refrain from speaking impulsively, you demonstrate that you prioritize quality over quantity in your contributions. This approach sets you apart from those who dominate conversations without adding substantive value. Over time, people come to associate your silence with wisdom and reliability, making them more likely to seek your input and respect your decisions. Silence also protects your ideas. In competitive settings, sharing too much too soon can lead to your thoughts being co-opted, misunderstood, or dismissed prematurely. By holding back until the right moment, you ensure that your contributions are fully formed and strategically timed. This not only enhances their impact, but also safeguards your intellectual capital, ensuring that your ideas are recognized and valued as your own. The ability to remain silent in social situations also builds intrigue and respect. People are naturally drawn to those who don't reveal everything about themselves up front. This restraint creates a sense of mystery, inviting others to engage with you on a deeper level. In competitive social environments, where connections and impressions are key, silence becomes a powerful way to stand out without seeking attention overtly. Silence is also a tool for managing conflicts in competitive environments. When disagreements arise, rushing to defend your position or criticize others can escalate tensions unnecessarily. Silence, paired with active listening, de-escalates the situation and shifts the focus toward resolution. It shows that you are not easily provoked, a quality that earns respect and fosters collaboration even in high-pressure scenarios. The strategic use of silence also enhances your decision-making. When faced with complex challenges, taking the time to reflect before responding ensures that your actions are guided by reason rather than impulse. Silence creates a buffer between external pressures and your internal thought process, allowing you to weigh options carefully and choose the course that aligns best with your goals. This clarity and composure are invaluable in competitive environments where quick but thoughtful decisions often determine success. In group settings, silence can elevate your status as a leader. While many may compete for attention through constant speaking, those who listen more than they talk are often seen as more authoritative. This perception isn't just about how much you say, it's about the quality of your presence. By staying silent and observing, you project a sense of calm confidence that inspires trust and draws people toward you. When you do speak, your words carry the weight of careful consideration, reinforcing your position as a leader. Silence also fosters creativity and innovation. In competitive environments, the pressure to perform can stifle original thinking as people focus on reacting rather than reflecting. Silence provides the mental space needed to explore new ideas, question assumptions, and think outside the box. By stepping back from the noise of constant interaction, you open yourself to fresh perspectives and insights that can set you apart from your peers. One of the most overlooked advantages of silence in competitive settings is its ability to build deeper connections. While speaking is often associated with networking, listening is what truly strengthens relationships. Silence allows others to feel heard and valued, creating a sense of trust and mutual respect. This trust becomes a foundation for collaboration, mentorship, and other opportunities that can enhance your position over time. Silence also teaches you patience, a quality that is essential in competitive environments. Success is rarely achieved through immediate action alone. It requires timing, persistence, and the ability to wait for the right moment. Silence cultivates this patience, training you to resist the urge to react impulsively and instead focus on long-term goals. This disciplined approach not only improves your outcomes, but also enhances your resilience in the face of challenges. The disciplined use of silence also strengthens your ability to manage stress. Competitive environments are often high pressure, and constant speaking can amplify this stress by keeping your mind in a reactive state. Silence, on the other hand, creates moments of stillness that allow you to regroup and recharge. These moments of mental clarity improve your ability to stay focused and perform effectively, even under intense demands. Another benefit of silence in competitive settings is its role in fostering adaptability. When you speak less, you listen more, gaining a clearer understanding of the dynamics around you. This heightened awareness allows you to adjust your approach as needed, responding to challenges and opportunities with greater agility. Silence, in this way, becomes a tool for staying ahead, as it keeps you attuned to the nuances of your environment. Silence is also a powerful way to maintain control over your narrative. In competitive environments, perception is key, and the way others see you can influence your opportunities and outcomes. By speaking sparingly and intentionally, you shape how others perceive you, ensuring that your words and actions align with the image you want to project. This control is invaluable in navigating the complexities of professional and social competition. Perhaps most importantly, silence in competitive environments reinforces your sense of self. It reminds you that your value is not determined by how much you say, but by the quality of your contributions and the integrity of your actions. This confidence in your worth allows you to engage with others authentically, free from the need to prove yourself through constant talking. Silence, in this sense, is not just a strategy, it's a statement of self-assurance. In competitive environments, silence is not passive, it's powerful. It's the space where observation becomes insight, where restraint becomes influence, and where composure becomes respect. By mastering the art of silence, you equip yourself with a tool that enhances every aspect of your interactions, from decision-making to relationship building. It's not about withholding your voice, it's about using it with purpose, ensuring that when you do speak, your words resonate and your impact endures. In competitive environments, silence becomes a signal of confidence and control, a way to assert authority without unnecessary noise. But what happens when words overflow? Speaking excessively, especially without purpose, often betrays insecurities rather than strength. While silence communicates confidence, over-talking frequently reveals a deeper need for validation, approval, or reassurance. Exploring the connection between speech and self-perception offers a powerful insight. True confidence is not in the volume of your words, but in their intention and restraint. Let's delve into how over-talking exposes insecurities and how choosing silence instead fosters genuine inner strength. Excessive talking is often a mask for discomfort. People who speak excessively may do so to fill silences they perceive as awkward or to distract from their vulnerabilities. They fear that quiet moments reveal a lack of confidence or make them appear uninteresting. But this flood of words can have the opposite effect. Rather than commanding attention, it dilutes their presence, making them seem less focused or self-assured. Silence, by contrast, demonstrates comfort in one's skin. It shows that you don't need to fill every moment to assert your value. Over-talking often stems from a need for validation. In an effort to be heard, understood, or accepted, people sometimes share more than is necessary or appropriate. This can manifest as over-explaining, constantly justifying oneself, or seeking approval through storytelling or humor. While these behaviors might feel like ways to connect, they often come across as seeking reassurance, inadvertently signaling a lack of confidence. Silence, on the other hand, sends a message of self-assurance. It says, "I trust myself, and I don't need constant feedback to validate my worth." People who overtalk sometimes fear being overlooked or forgotten. They use excessive speech to ensure they are noticed, filling conversations with anecdotes, opinions, or commentary to assert their presence. However, this approach often backfires. Instead of being remembered for meaningful contributions, they become associated with noise. Silence, when paired with carefully chosen words, creates a far more memorable impact. It ensures that when you do speak, your voice carries weight and significance. Over-talking can also signal discomfort with uncertainty. People who feel insecure about their knowledge or abilities may overcompensate by dominating conversations, hoping to appear informed or competent. However, this approach often exposes gaps in their understanding, undermining the very impression they seek to create. Silence, by contrast, communicates composure. It shows that you're confident enough to acknowledge what you don't know and that you value thoughtful responses over immediate answers. Excessive speech can also be a defense mechanism against vulnerability. People who feel insecure might overshare as a way of controlling the narrative or preempting criticism. By revealing too much, they attempt to disarm others or gain sympathy. Yet, this openness can come across as a lack of boundaries, making them appear overly dependent on external validation. Silence in these moments is a sign of strength. It shows that you're comfortable holding back, keeping some parts of yourself private and protected. Over-talking often reveals an underlying fear of judgment. People who talk excessively may do so to explain, justify, or defend their actions, seeking to avoid misunderstandings or criticism. This habit, however, can erode credibility as it makes them seem overly concerned with others' opinions. Silence, in contrast, reflects confidence in your decisions. It demonstrates that you trust your actions to speak for themselves, without the need for constant explanation or defense. One of the most subtle ways over-talking exposes insecurity is through interruptions. People who feel the need to constantly insert their thoughts into a conversation often fear being overlooked or irrelevant. This behavior not only disrupts the flow of dialogue, but also signals a lack of self-control. Silence, when paired with active listening, conveys patience and respect. It shows that you value the perspectives of others and are confident enough to wait your turn to contribute meaningfully. The relationship between over-talking and insecurity often extends to storytelling. While sharing experiences is a natural way to connect, excessive or self-centered storytelling can come across as a need for attention or validation. People who constantly steer conversations back to themselves may not realize that this habit makes them seem insecure rather than engaging. Silence, paired with thoughtful listening, creates space for others to share. This balance not only builds stronger connections, but also demonstrates self-assurance. Over-talking can also signal an internal struggle with self-worth. People who feel unworthy or inadequate might talk excessively to compensate, hoping to prove their value through their words. Yet, this approach often leads to overcompensation, making them seem less credible or authentic. Silence, by contrast, is an act of self-trust. It shows that you believe your worth isn't tied to how much you say, but to the substance and integrity of your actions. Excessive speech can erode relationships. People who dominate conversations often leave others feeling unheard or undervalued, creating distance rather than connection. This dynamic not only damages trust, but also reinforces the speaker's insecurity as they sense the growing disconnect but don't know how to address it. Silence, on the other hand, fosters deeper relationships by creating space for mutual exchange. It shows that you're as interested in others as you are in expressing yourself. In professional settings, over-talking can undermine authority. People who feel insecure about their position or expertise may compensate by speaking too much, hoping to assert dominance or competence. However, this behavior often has the opposite effect, as it makes them seem less composed or focused. Silence, paired with intentional speech, conveys leadership. It shows that you're confident in your abilities and that you trust your presence to communicate as much as your words. Over-talking can also signal a fear of rejection. People who constantly seek to entertain, impress, or engage others may do so out of a desire to be liked or accepted. Yet, this behavior can come across as needy or overbearing, pushing people away rather than drawing them closer. Silence in these moments demonstrates self-respect. It shows that you value yourself enough to let relationships develop naturally without forcing connection or approval. Excessive speech often stems from a fear of silence itself. People who are uncomfortable with quiet moments may fill them with words, hoping to avoid awkwardness or tension. Yet, these silences are often where the deepest connections and understandings are formed. By embracing silence, you show that you're at ease with stillness, a quality that reflects inner peace and confidence. Overtalking also reveals a lack of emotional control. People who speak excessively often struggle to regulate their thoughts or feelings, letting them spill out without reflection. This lack of restraint can make them seem less trustworthy or reliable, as it suggests they may speak impulsively rather than thoughtfully. Silence, by contrast, demonstrates discipline. It shows that you have the patience and self-awareness to choose your words carefully, a trait that inspires respect and admiration. Silence isn't about withholding, it's about discerning. By speaking less and listening more, you convey a sense of calm assurance that speaks louder than any words could. This restraint not only protects your credibility, but also allows you to engage with others more meaningfully. It transforms conversations from one-sided performances into collaborative exchanges, building trust and mutual respect. Overtalking is often a symptom of deeper insecurities, but silence is a pathway to overcoming them. It teaches you to value quality over quantity in your words, to trust in your presence rather than your performance, and to find strength in stillness. By choosing silence, you reclaim control over how you're perceived, fostering confidence and respect in every interaction. True confidence doesn't need to shout. It's quiet, composed, and undeniable. The insecurities revealed through over-talking point to a profound truth. Confidence thrives in restraint. Yet, beyond addressing insecurities, there is a deeper wisdom in the act of speaking less and observing more. Pausing before speaking isn't just a tool to avoid missteps. It is a deliberate practice that sharpens your decision-making, enhances understanding, and fosters clarity. Words spoken too quickly often miss their mark, while those that emerge from reflection carry weight and purpose. The power of waiting lies not in hesitation, but in thoughtful preparation, a discipline that transforms conversations, decisions, and relationships. When you pause before speaking, you create space for awareness. In conversations, the urge to respond immediately can cloud judgment, leading to statements driven more by emotion than reason. A brief moment of silence, however, shifts this dynamic. It allows you to process what has been said, consider your perspective, and form a response that aligns with your intentions. This act of waiting elevates your words, making them not only more impactful, but also more authentic. Speaking less and observing more deepens your understanding of others. When you listen without the immediate need to reply, you gain insights into their emotions, motivations, and perspectives. This depth of understanding fosters empathy, enabling you to respond in ways that resonate rather than clash. Observation is a skill that strengthens connections, as it demonstrates that you value the other person's input enough to fully consider it before contributing your own. Pausing before speaking also protects against impulsivity. Words spoken in haste often lack the nuance and care required to build trust or resolve conflicts. By waiting, you give yourself the time to weigh the potential consequences of your words. This mindfulness not only reduces the risk of miscommunication, but also enhances your credibility as people come to see you as someone who speaks with intention and integrity. The wisdom of waiting extends beyond conversations. In decision-making, the ability to pause and reflect ensures that your actions are guided by clarity rather than urgency. Quick decisions often overlook important details or alternative perspectives, leading to outcomes that might have been avoided with more patience. Taking the time to observe, gather information, and consider your options leads to choices that are not only more informed, but also more aligned with your values and goals. Observation is an active process, not a passive one. When you take the time to watch, listen, and reflect, you become attuned to the subtle dynamics at play in any situation. This awareness reveals opportunities and challenges that might otherwise go unnoticed. By speaking less and observing more, you position yourself as someone who is thoughtful and strategic, a quality that inspires trust and respect in both personal and professional settings. Waiting before speaking also cultivates emotional intelligence. It teaches you to recognize and regulate your emotions, ensuring that they inform rather than dictate your responses. This discipline creates a sense of balance, allowing you to navigate difficult conversations or high-pressure situations with composure. The ability to pause and reflect is a hallmark of emotional maturity, one that enhances your relationships and strengthens your leadership. Speaking less can also diffuse tension in contentious situations. Silence, when used intentionally, creates a pause that allows emotions to cool and perspectives to shift. It signals that you're willing to listen and understand rather than escalate the conflict. This approach not only reduces the likelihood of misunderstandings, but also fosters a more collaborative dynamic, as it encourages others to approach the conversation with the same level of care and consideration. The act of waiting before speaking also enhances your credibility. People are naturally drawn to those who exude calm and confidence, qualities that are amplified by thoughtful communication. When you take the time to choose your words carefully, your contributions carry more weight. This approach not only sets you apart, but also reinforces your reputation as someone who values substance over spectacle. Observation, paired with restraint, sharpens your intuition. When you listen more than you speak, you develop a deeper understanding of the unspoken cues that shape interactions. This heightened awareness allows you to anticipate needs, address concerns, and adapt to changing dynamics with ease. The ability to read between the lines is a skill that enhances your effectiveness in any environment, as it enables you to respond to the underlying emotions or motivations driving a situation. Pausing before speaking also fosters a sense of inner peace. The act of waiting creates a buffer between external demands and your internal response, reducing the stress that often accompanies quick decisions or heated exchanges. This practice allows you to approach challenges with clarity and focus, ensuring that your words and actions reflect your true intentions. By speaking less and observing more, you create a space for thoughtful engagement, one that prioritizes connection over confrontation. In professional settings, the ability to wait before speaking is a mark of leadership. Leaders who listen more than they talk inspire confidence and respect, as their restraint demonstrates a commitment to understanding and collaboration. This approach not only strengthens their relationships, but also enhances their decision-making, as they are better equipped to consider diverse perspectives and weigh the implications of their actions. Waiting before speaking also builds resilience. It teaches you to sit with discomfort, to resist the urge to react immediately, and to trust that clarity will emerge with time. This patience is a powerful tool, one that equips you to navigate uncertainty and change with grace. By speaking less and observing more, you cultivate a sense of steadiness that carries you through challenges, enabling you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. The wisdom of waiting lies in its ability to transform your relationships. When you prioritize listening and observation, you create a foundation of trust and mutual respect. This approach not only deepens your connections, but also strengthens your ability to influence and inspire. By speaking less, you make room for others to feel seen and heard, a gesture that fosters collaboration and builds lasting bonds. Speaking less and observing more also enhances your creativity. The space created by silence allows ideas to flow freely, unencumbered by the noise of constant conversation. This quiet time for reflection fuels innovation, as it gives you the freedom to explore new perspectives and solutions. The ability to pause and think deeply is a skill that sets you apart, enabling you to approach challenges with originality and insight. The act of waiting before speaking also reinforces your sense of self. It reminds you that your value is not determined by how much you say, but by the quality and intention of your words. This confidence in your voice allows you to engage with others authentically, free from the need to prove yourself through constant talking. By speaking less and observing more, you align your communication with your true self, creating a life marked by integrity and purpose. The power of pausing lies in its simplicity. It's a small act with profound effects, one that transforms not only how you communicate, but also how you connect, decide, and lead. By embracing the wisdom of waiting, you equip yourself with a tool that enhances every aspect of your life. It's not about withholding your voice. It's about using it with intention, ensuring that when you do speak, your words carry the weight and clarity of thoughtful reflection. The power of waiting reveals the strength in thoughtful communication, shaping decisions and relationships with clarity and intention. But beyond the practical benefits of restraint lies something even more profound: the allure of mystery. When you speak less and choose your words carefully, you cultivate a presence that draws others in, sparking curiosity and admiration. Mystery is not about secrecy or manipulation. It is about mastering the art of self-possession, where your silence becomes a signal of depth, and your words, when spoken, carry extraordinary weight. Let's explore how being reserved can transform the way others perceive and connect with you. Speaking sparingly doesn't mean withholding your personality. It means revealing it with care. People are naturally intrigued by what they cannot immediately understand. When you speak less, you create a sense of intrigue that invites others to learn more about you. This quiet confidence not only enhances your presence, but also sets you apart in a world where oversharing is often the norm. By cultivating a sense of mystery, you allow others to focus on the substance of who you are rather than the surface. Mystery captivates because it leaves room for interpretation. When every thought or feeling is shared openly, there's little left for others to explore. Speaking less creates a space where curiosity can thrive. This space is not emptiness. It's an invitation for others to engage more deeply, to ask questions, and to form a connection based on discovery rather than assumption. This dynamic not only fosters stronger relationships, but also ensures that the connections you build are genuine and meaningful. Reserving your words also protects your individuality. When you are deliberate about what you share, you maintain control over your narrative. This control allows you to shape how others perceive you, ensuring that their impression aligns with your true self. In contrast, speaking too much can dilute your identity, as it exposes too many facets too quickly, leaving little room for others to appreciate your depth. Mystery preserves the essence of who you are, offering glimpses rather than full disclosure. The allure of being reserved extends to how others value your contributions. When you speak less, people pay closer attention to what you say, knowing that your words are chosen with intention. This focus amplifies your impact, ensuring that your insights are not only heard, but remembered. In this way, silence becomes a form of influence, a quiet power that shapes how others respond to and engage with you. Being reserved also creates a sense of respect. People are naturally drawn to those who carry themselves with poise and self-assurance. Speaking less signals that you are confident in your thoughts and actions, that you don't feel the need to prove yourself through constant talking. This quiet confidence commands admiration, as it reflects a level of self-awareness and discipline that few possess. Mystery isn't about hiding, it's about revealing yourself in layers. When you speak less, you give others the chance to see different sides of you over time, deepening their connection to you. This gradual unfolding not only strengthens relationships, but also keeps them dynamic and engaging. It ensures that there is always something new to discover, a quality that keeps interactions fresh and meaningful. Choosing words carefully also enhances your authenticity. When you speak less, your words carry more weight because they are aligned with your values and intentions. This authenticity is magnetic, as people are drawn to those who express themselves with honesty and clarity. By being reserved, you ensure that your voice reflects who you truly are, creating a sense of trust and connection that goes beyond words. The power of mystery also lies in its ability to foster self-respect. When you are deliberate about what you share, you affirm your worth and boundaries. You signal to others that your thoughts and feelings are valuable and deserve careful consideration. This self-respect not only enhances your confidence, but also sets the tone for how others treat you. It creates a dynamic where your presence is valued not for its volume, but for its depth. Speaking less also allows you to observe more. The less time you spend talking, the more time you have to understand the dynamics of a conversation or situation. This heightened awareness not only enhances your interactions, but also reinforces the sense of mystery that surrounds you. People are naturally intrigued by those who listen intently, as it shows a level of engagement and thoughtfulness that is rare and valuable. The allure of mystery also extends to your professional life. In workplaces where communication is often fast-paced and competitive, being reserved sets you apart. It signals that you are measured and intentional, qualities that inspire trust and respect. When you speak less but with purpose, your contributions stand out, positioning you as someone who is not only knowledgeable but also strategic. This approach not only enhances your reputation but also strengthens your influence. Restraint in speech also protects your energy. Constantly explaining, justifying, or sharing can be exhausting, leaving little room for introspection or renewal. By speaking less, you conserve your energy for the moments that matter most. This conservation not only enhances your well-being, but also ensures that your contributions are impactful and meaningful. Mystery, in this sense, is not just about how others perceive you, it's also about how you sustain and protect yourself. The choice to be reserved also reflects emotional intelligence. It shows that you are aware of the impact of your words and that you value the dynamics of a conversation. This awareness not only deepens your relationships, but also enhances your ability to navigate complex social situations. By speaking less, you create a space where others feel seen and heard, a gesture that fosters trust and mutual respect. Mystery also creates an element of surprise. When you speak sparingly, your words carry a freshness that keeps others engaged. This unpredictability not only makes interactions more dynamic, but also ensures that your presence remains compelling. People are naturally drawn to those who keep them guessing, as it adds a sense of excitement and intrigue to every conversation. Being reserved also strengthens your ability to adapt. When you listen more than you speak, you gain a clearer understanding of the dynamics around you. This understanding allows you to respond thoughtfully and strategically, ensuring that your words and actions align with the situation. This adaptability not only enhances your effectiveness, but also reinforces the sense of depth and mystery that surrounds you. The power of mystery also lies in its ability to create lasting impressions. When you speak less, people remember not just what you say, but how you carry yourself. This presence leaves a mark that goes beyond words, as it reflects a sense of self-assurance and authenticity that resonates deeply. By being reserved, you ensure that your impact endures, creating connections that are not only meaningful, but also lasting. Choosing to speak less is not about withholding. It's about offering your presence with intention. It's about creating a space where others can engage with you on a deeper level, where curiosity and respect thrive. Mystery is not a performance. It's a reflection of your inner strength, a quiet confidence that draws others in and inspires them to connect. By mastering the art of being reserved, you transform not only how others perceive you, but also how you navigate the world, creating a life marked by depth, authenticity, and purpose. The allure of mystery lies in the balance of what is revealed and what is held back. By choosing silence, you shape not only how others perceive you, but also how you connect with your inner self. Beyond its external impact, silence holds the power to transform your inner world. It offers a sanctuary from the noise of constant communication, creating a space where clarity and calm can flourish. Limiting speech is not just a practice of restraint, it is a path to peace, a way to quiet the mind, strengthen emotional resilience, and reconnect with the stillness within. Words, though powerful, can often become a source of mental clutter. The act of constant speaking, explaining, or justifying fills the mind with unnecessary noise. This noise makes it difficult to focus, leaving little room for introspection or self-awareness. Silence clears this space. By speaking less, you give your thoughts the freedom to settle, allowing clarity to emerge from the chaos. This clarity is not just about reducing distractions, it is about creating a foundation of inner peace that supports everything you do. Limiting speech also fosters mindfulness. When you choose to speak less, you become more aware of your words and their impact. This awareness extends beyond communication, helping you to notice and appreciate the present moment. Silence shifts your focus from external validation to internal reflection, grounding you in the here and now. This mindfulness is a cornerstone of inner peace, as it frees you from the constant pull of past regrets and future worries. Speaking less also teaches you to listen to yourself. In the absence of constant verbal expression, you begin to hear the quieter voices within, your intuition, your emotions, and your true desires. This self-listening deepens your connection to yourself, strengthening your sense of identity and purpose. Silence becomes a tool for self-discovery, a way to uncover the truths that often get lost in the noise of everyday life. The practice of silence also cultivates emotional resilience. When you limit your speech, you create a buffer between your emotions and your responses. This pause allows you to process your feelings before expressing them, reducing the likelihood of impulsive reactions. Over time, this practice builds emotional strength, teaching you to navigate challenges with grace and composure. Silence becomes not just a shield, but a source of strength, helping you to remain centered even in difficult moments. Silence also offers a break from the external pressures of social interactions. The constant need to explain, defend, or entertain can be draining, leaving little energy for self-care or reflection. By speaking less, you free yourself from these demands, creating space to recharge and refocus. This space is not about isolation, it is about balance, a way to ensure that your inner world remains as nurtured as your outer connections. The power of silence lies in its simplicity. By reducing the need for constant speech, you strip away the unnecessary, revealing what truly matters. This simplicity extends to your relationships, as it encourages more meaningful and authentic connections. When you speak less, your words carry more weight, fostering trust and understanding. This depth strengthens your bonds with others, creating relationships that are rooted in mutual respect and care. Limiting speech also fosters gratitude. In the stillness of silence, you become more aware of the small joys and blessings in your life. This awareness shifts your perspective, helping you to focus on what you have rather than what you lack. Gratitude, in turn, amplifies your sense of peace, grounding you in the abundance of the present moment. Silence becomes a way to cultivate a mindset of appreciation, one that nourishes your spirit and strengthens your resilience. The practice of silence also enhances your ability to handle stress. By speaking less, you reduce the external noise that often amplifies internal tension. This reduction creates a space for calm, a sanctuary where you can process and release your stress without the need for verbal expression. Silence teaches you to find peace within, even in the midst of chaos, a skill that enhances your overall well-being. Silence also sharpens your focus. The act of speaking less reduces distractions, allowing you to direct your energy toward what truly matters. This focus extends beyond tasks to include your thoughts and emotions, helping you to align your actions with your values. By limiting speech, you create a mental clarity that supports both your goals and your sense of inner peace. Limiting speech also enhances your ability to forgive. When you refrain from speaking out of anger or frustration, you create a space for understanding and compassion. This space allows you to process your emotions without letting them dictate your responses, making it easier to let go of grudges and move forward. Silence becomes a tool for healing, one that strengthens your relationships and frees you from the weight of resentment. The practice of silence also deepens your connection to nature. In the absence of constant talking, you become more attuned to the rhythms of the world around you. This attunement fosters a sense of awe and wonder, reminding you of your place in the larger tapestry of life. Silence, in this context, becomes a way to reconnect with the natural world, grounding you in its beauty and stillness. Silence also nurtures creativity. By limiting speech, you create a mental space where ideas can flow freely, unencumbered by the constraints of verbal expression. This creativity extends beyond artistic pursuits to include problem-solving, innovation, and personal growth. Silence becomes a wellspring of inspiration, one that fuels your imagination and enriches your life. The act of speaking less also reinforces your sense of self-worth. It reminds you that your value is not tied to how much you say, but to who you are. This self-worth allows you to engage with others authentically, free from the need to prove yourself through constant talking. Silence, in this sense, becomes a reflection of your confidence, a quiet assurance that speaks louder than words. Limiting speech also enhances your spiritual connection. In the stillness of silence, you become more aware of the deeper truths that guide your life. This awareness fosters a sense of purpose and meaning, grounding you in something greater than yourself. Silence becomes a way to connect with your inner wisdom, a practice that enriches both your inner and outer worlds. The power of silence lies in its ability to transform. It is not just the absence of words, it is the presence of peace, clarity, and intention. By limiting speech, you create a space where your thoughts, emotions, and actions can align, fostering a sense of harmony that resonates throughout your life. Silence is not an escape, it is a return to yourself, to the present moment, and to the infinite potential within. Through silence, you discover that the greatest strength often lies in stillness, and the deepest truths are found not in words, but in the quiet spaces between them. The quiet strength of silence offers a profound sense of inner peace, allowing thoughts to settle and emotions to align. Yet, there's a deeper challenge that many face: how to free themselves from the relentless need for validation. Words often become a tool for seeking approval, a way to bridge the gap between self-doubt and self-worth. But this pursuit can become a trap, pulling you further from your authentic self. Let's explore how over-talking often stems from a desire for validation, and how silence instead nurtures true self-assurance. Seeking validation through words begins with a lack of internal confidence. When self-worth feels fragile, people often look outward for reassurance, using speech to fill the void. They may over-explain, share excessively, or constantly seek agreement to feel valued. This reliance on external approval, however, creates a cycle of dependence. Each time validation is sought and received, it reinforces the belief that worth comes from others rather than within. Silence disrupts this cycle by shifting the focus inward, encouraging reflection and self-acceptance. Over-talking in the pursuit of validation often leads to superficial connections. When the primary goal is to be liked or accepted, conversations may lack depth or authenticity. Words are chosen to please rather than to express truth, and the resulting interactions feel hollow. Silence, by contrast, allows for a deeper engagement with yourself and others. It gives space for authenticity to emerge, fostering relationships that are built on trust rather than approval seeking. Using words to seek validation can also backfire, as it often comes across as insecurity. People who constantly seek reassurance through speech may inadvertently push others away, as their neediness can feel overwhelming. This dynamic not only damages relationships, but also reinforces feelings of inadequacy, creating a self-perpetuating loop. Silence, on the other hand, signals self-assurance. It demonstrates that you are comfortable with who you are without needing constant affirmation from others. The desire for validation often leads to oversharing. In an attempt to connect or gain approval, people may disclose more than is necessary or appropriate. While this openness can sometimes foster intimacy, it often undermines boundaries, leaving the individual feeling exposed or vulnerable. Silence preserves these boundaries, allowing you to maintain control over what you share and how you present yourself. This restraint not only protects your emotional well-being, but also enhances your sense of dignity. Validation-seeking speech often shifts focus away from the present moment. When the need for approval dominates a conversation, the speaker is often more concerned with how they are perceived than with the actual exchange. This preoccupation creates a disconnect, as the conversation becomes performative rather than genuine. Silence redirects attention to the present, grounding you in the reality of the interaction and allowing for a more meaningful connection. The habit of seeking validation through words can also stifle growth. When self-worth is tied to external feedback, it becomes difficult to take risks or embrace vulnerability. Fear of judgment or rejection may lead to a tendency to play it safe, avoiding challenges that could lead to personal development. Silence, by fostering self-assurance, creates the freedom to take risks without needing constant reassurance. It empowers you to explore new possibilities, knowing that your worth is not dependent on others' opinions. Over-talking in search of validation often leads to exhaustion. The effort required to constantly monitor and adjust your speech to gain approval is draining, leaving little energy for self-reflection or personal fulfillment. Silence offers a reprieve from this constant striving. It provides the mental space needed to recharge and reconnect with your true self, fostering a sense of peace and renewal. Using words to seek validation can also create a false sense of identity. When your self-worth is tied to others' approval, you may begin to prioritize their expectations over your own values and desires. This dynamic can lead to a sense of disconnection from your authentic self, as you become more focused on pleasing others than on being true to yourself. Silence helps to reclaim this authenticity. By speaking less, you create the space to rediscover what truly matters to you, aligning your actions with your values rather than external pressures. Validation-seeking speech can also undermine confidence in your abilities. When you constantly look to others for approval, you may begin to doubt your own judgment or worth. This doubt not only affects how you see yourself, but also how others perceive you, as it signals a lack of self-trust. Silence, in contrast, builds confidence. It teaches you to trust your instincts and value your contributions, regardless of whether they are immediately validated by others. The pursuit of validation often leads to overthinking. When you are preoccupied with how others perceive you, your mind becomes cluttered with self-doubt and second-guessing. This mental noise not only hampers your ability to communicate effectively, but also prevents you from fully engaging with the present moment. Silence quiets this noise, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. It creates a sense of clarity that strengthens both your communication and your inner peace. Over-talking for validation can also create an imbalance in relationships. When one person is constantly seeking reassurance, the dynamic becomes one-sided, with the other person feeling burdened by the need to provide constant affirmation. This imbalance not only strains the relationship, but also reinforces the validation seeker's sense of inadequacy. Silence restores balance by shifting the focus from external validation to mutual respect and understanding. Using words to seek validation often undermines the very connection it seeks to create. When speech is driven by the need for approval, it lacks authenticity, making it difficult for others to connect on a genuine level. Silence, by fostering self-assurance, creates space for deeper connections. It allows you to engage with others from a place of confidence rather than neediness, strengthening the bonds of trust and respect. The need for validation often stems from a fear of rejection. People who seek approval through speech may do so to avoid the discomfort of being misunderstood or judged. While this fear is natural, it often leads to overcompensation, where the individual speaks more in an attempt to control how they are perceived. Silence, by contrast, teaches acceptance. It helps you to embrace the reality that not everyone will understand or approve of you, and that's okay. This acceptance is liberating, as it frees you from the constant pressure to please. The act of limiting speech also fosters resilience. When you rely less on others for validation, you become more self-reliant, building an inner strength that sustains you through challenges. This resilience is not about isolation, it's about grounding yourself in your own worth, so that external opinions enhance rather than define your sense of self. Silence becomes a tool for cultivating this resilience, creating a foundation of self-assurance that withstands the ups and downs of life. Validation-seeking speech often leads to regret. In the effort to gain approval, people may say things they don't mean or share things they later wish they hadn't. These moments not only undermine confidence, but also create unnecessary emotional baggage. Silence prevents this by giving you the space to consider your words carefully. It ensures that when you do speak, your words reflect your true thoughts and intentions, leaving no room for regret. The power of silence lies in its ability to shift the focus from seeking validation to cultivating self-worth. It is not about withdrawing from others, but about reconnecting with yourself. By speaking less, you create the space to listen to your intuition, to your emotions, and to the truths that lie beneath the surface. This self-listening fosters a sense of authenticity and confidence that no amount of external validation can provide. In choosing silence, you reclaim your voice. You learn to speak not to seek approval, but to express your truth. This shift transforms your relationships, your decisions, and your sense of self. It frees you from the trap of validation seeking, allowing you to engage with the world from a place of confidence and clarity. Silence in this context is not just a practice, it is a path to liberation, one that leads to a life defined by self-assurance and authenticity. Breaking free from the trap of seeking validation through words opens the door to a more authentic connection with yourself and others. Yet, there's an even deeper layer of growth that comes from silence, the ability to truly understand. In conversations, speaking less does more than just foster clarity within. It also transforms how you engage with others. Silence becomes a tool for unlocking the nuances of someone else's perspective, allowing you to respond with thoughtfulness and depth. This shift is more than communication. It's connection at its finest, born from listening, observing, and reflecting. Silence in conversation invites genuine understanding. When you pause and let others speak, you create space for their thoughts to unfold. Instead of rushing to respond, you allow the other person to express themselves fully, revealing layers of meaning that might otherwise go unnoticed. This process isn't just about hearing words, it's about noticing tone, body language, and the emotions behind what's being said. Silence sharpens your ability to observe these subtleties, giving you insight into not only the words, but the feelings and intentions behind them. Speaking less also reduces the noise in communication. In a conversation filled with constant interruptions or competing voices, meaning can easily get lost. When you hold back and let others lead, you create an environment where ideas and emotions can surface without distraction. This clarity not only helps you understand the other person better, but also ensures that they feel heard and valued. Silence in this way becomes a gift you give to the speaker, a moment of undivided attention that strengthens the connection. Listening with intention is a skill that silence nurtures. When you're not focused on crafting your next response, you can fully engage with what's being said. This focus reveals the nuances that are often missed in rushed exchanges. You notice the way someone hesitates before a word, the subtle shifts in their expression, or the deeper meaning implied in their choice of language. These details are the heart of true understanding, and they only become visible when you let silence guide the interaction. Choosing silence also teaches you to step outside of your own perspective. Often, people approach conversations with a desire to be understood rather than to understand. This mindset limits the depth of connection as it keeps the focus inward rather than outward. Silence shifts this dynamic, encouraging you to prioritize the other person's perspective. By speaking less, you create space to explore their thoughts and feelings, gaining insights that enrich your understanding of them and the conversation as a whole. One of the greatest gifts of silence is its ability to diffuse tension. In heated conversations, the urge to speak quickly and defend your position can escalate conflict. Silence, by contrast, creates a pause that allows emotions to settle. This pause not only prevents misunderstandings, but also opens the door to empathy. By choosing to listen rather than react, you demonstrate a willingness to understand, which often encourages the other person to do the same. This mutual effort transforms conflict into an opportunity for growth and resolution. Silence also enhances your ability to ask thoughtful questions. When you take the time to truly listen, you gain a deeper understanding of what the other person is trying to convey. This understanding allows you to ask questions that dig deeper, clarifying points or exploring ideas further. These questions not only show that you're engaged, but also help the other person feel understood on a profound level. Speaking less gives you the mental space to craft these inquiries, turning the conversation into a meaningful exchange. Holding back your words also builds trust. When people feel that they are truly being listened to, they are more likely to open up and share honestly. Silence creates an environment of safety where the other person feels respected and valued. This trust deepens the connection, making it easier to navigate difficult topics or address sensitive issues. By speaking less, you signal that the conversation is not about asserting your viewpoint, but about mutual understanding. The practice of silence also encourages patience. In conversations, there's often a temptation to fill pauses or rush to conclusions. This haste can lead to misunderstandings or missed opportunities for connection. Silence teaches you to embrace the pause, to sit with the discomfort of not immediately responding, and to let the conversation unfold naturally. This patience allows for deeper exploration and ensures that your responses are thoughtful and aligned with the flow of the dialogue. Speaking less also strengthens your emotional intelligence. By focusing on listening rather than talking, you become more attuned to the emotional undercurrents of a conversation. This awareness helps you respond in ways that are not only thoughtful, but also empathetic, addressing both the content of the conversation and the emotions behind it. Silence, in this context, becomes a bridge to understanding, connecting you to the other person on both a mental and emotional level. Silence in conversations also fosters humility. By stepping back and allowing others to share their perspectives, you acknowledge that you don't have all the answers. This humility creates a sense of openness, where learning and growth become possible. It shows that you value the other person's insights as much as your own, fostering a sense of equality and mutual respect. Speaking less also reduces the risk of miscommunication. When you rush to respond, it's easy to misinterpret or oversimplify what's been said. Silence gives you the time to process the information fully, ensuring that your responses are accurate and considerate. This clarity not only enhances your understanding, but also prevents the misunderstandings that can strain relationships. The power of silence lies in its ability to shift the focus from speaking to connecting. In conversations, it's not the quantity of words that matters, but the quality of the exchange. Silence allows you to prioritize depth over breadth, ensuring that every interaction is meaningful and impactful. By speaking less, you create a space where understanding can flourish, transforming conversations from routine exchanges into profound connections. Silence also strengthens your intuition. When you're not focused on constantly contributing to the conversation, you become more aware of the unspoken dynamics at play. This awareness helps you navigate the conversation with greater insight, anticipating needs, addressing concerns, and adapting to the flow of the dialogue. This intuitive understanding enhances your ability to connect, as it allows you to respond in ways that resonate deeply with the other person. The discipline of speaking less also fosters self-awareness. When you hold back your words, you become more attuned to your own thoughts and emotions. This self-awareness enhances your ability to engage with others authentically, as you're better able to align your words with your values and intentions. Silence in this way not only deepens your understanding of others, but also strengthens your connection to yourself. The act of choosing silence in conversations is not about withholding, it's about enhancing. It's about creating a space where understanding, empathy, and connection can thrive. By speaking less and listening more, you transform the way you engage with others, building relationships that are rooted in trust, respect, and mutual understanding. Silence, in its simplicity, is a profound tool for connection, a way to bridge gaps, dissolve barriers, and create a dialogue that truly resonates. Understanding others through silence transforms conversations into meaningful exchanges. But there is another layer to this practice. a shield that silence provides against one of the most subtle yet corrosive emotions, envy. Envy thrives in the space where comparisons live, growing with every comment or observation about others' achievements. Choosing silence in these moments is not just an act of self-control, it is a way of preserving your peace, refocusing your energy, and building resilience. Let's delve into how silence protects you from the destructive cycle of envy and empowers you to focus on your own path. The comparison game is a trap that feeds on words. When you speak about others' successes, you often amplify their achievements in your mind, making them seem larger or more unattainable. This magnification distorts your perception, leaving you feeling smaller or less capable in contrast. By staying silent, you resist the urge to feed these thoughts. Silence interrupts the comparison before it takes root, giving you the space to reflect on your own progress without the distraction of someone else's journey. Speaking about others' accomplishments can also create a sense of false competition. When you vocalize admiration or even critique of someone's success, you frame their journey in relation to your own. This framing fosters a mindset where success feels finite, as though someone else's achievement somehow diminishes your potential. Silence removes this narrative, reminding you that success is not a race, but a personal pursuit. By refraining from unnecessary commentary, you protect your focus and allow yourself to grow without the weight of comparison. Silence also guards against the internalization of societal expectations. Many comparisons are rooted in external standards, what others define as success, happiness, or fulfillment. When you speak about others' lives, you often reinforce these standards, measuring yourself against ideals that may not align with your values. Choosing silence breaks this cycle, allowing you to define success on your own terms. This self-defined perspective not only shields you from envy, but also fosters a deeper sense of satisfaction with your own journey. The act of commenting on others' achievements often shifts your focus outward, leaving less room for self-reflection. When you spend time discussing what others have done, you divert attention from your own goals and progress. Silence redirects this focus inward. It creates a space where you can evaluate your own efforts, celebrate your milestones, and identify areas for growth. This inward focus is a powerful antidote to envy, as it grounds you in your own path rather than someone else's. Silence also fosters gratitude. When you refrain from speaking about others' successes, you create room to appreciate your own. This shift in focus helps you recognize the abundance in your life, reducing the desire for what others have. Gratitude and envy cannot coexist. One diminishes the other. By choosing silence, you nurture gratitude, replacing the corrosive effects of comparison with the uplifting power of appreciation. The choice to remain silent also strengthens your emotional resilience. Envy often arises from feelings of inadequacy or insecurity, emotions that are amplified by speaking about others' successes. Silence, by contrast, provides a pause that allows you to process these emotions without letting them dictate your actions. This practice of self-regulation builds resilience, enabling you to navigate challenges and setbacks without being derailed by envy. Refraining from commenting on others' achievements also preserves your relationships. Envy, when expressed through words, can create tension or distance between you and those you admire. It can lead to subtle criticisms, backhanded compliments, or even outright resentment, all of which erode trust and connection. Silence prevents these dynamics, allowing you to celebrate others' successes without compromising your own peace or the integrity of your relationships. Silence also shifts your perspective on success. When you speak less about what others have achieved, you begin to see their accomplishments not as benchmarks, but as sources of inspiration. This shift transforms envy into motivation, as you recognize that someone else's success does not diminish your potential, but highlights what is possible. By choosing silence, you free yourself to celebrate others' achievements without losing sight of your own. The practice of silence also deepens your self-awareness. When you refrain from commenting on others, you have the opportunity to examine your own feelings and motivations. What triggers envy? What insecurities does it reveal? This self-examination is a powerful tool for growth, as it helps you address the root causes of envy rather than just its symptoms. Silence becomes a space for self-discovery, allowing you to navigate your emotions with clarity and compassion. Remaining silent about others' successes also cultivates humility. It reminds you that everyone's journey is unique, shaped by their own challenges, choices, and circumstances. This humility fosters a sense of respect for others' paths, while reinforcing the importance of staying true to your own. Silence, in this context, is not about withholding. It's about honoring the complexity of life and the diversity of experiences that define success. Choosing silence also enhances your ability to support others authentically. When you're not focused on comparing yourself, you're better able to celebrate others' achievements with genuine joy. This authenticity strengthens your connections, as it shows that your support is free from envy or ulterior motives. Silence, paired with sincere acknowledgement, creates a foundation of trust and mutual respect. The habit of speaking less about others also frees you from the need for external validation. Often, comments on others' achievements are veiled attempts to position yourself in relation to them, seeking approval or reassurance. Silence breaks this pattern, teaching you to find validation within rather than from comparisons. This self-reliance is not only liberating, but also empowering, as it allows you to pursue your goals with confidence and independence. Silence also protects your energy. The mental and emotional effort required to compare yourself to others is draining, leaving less capacity for creativity, focus, and growth. By choosing not to engage in the comparison game, you conserve your energy for what truly matters, your own journey. Silence becomes a shield, preserving your well-being and ensuring that your efforts are directed toward meaningful pursuits. Refraining from commenting on others' successes also helps you maintain perspective. In the moment, someone else's achievement may seem overwhelming or unattainable, fueling feelings of envy. Silence provides a pause that allows you to see the bigger picture. It reminds you that success is not linear or uniform, and that your path is uniquely yours. This perspective not only reduces envy, but also fosters patience and perseverance. The act of choosing silence also reinforces your sense of self-worth. When you resist the urge to compare, you affirm that your value is not tied to how you measure up to others. This affirmation strengthens your confidence, allowing you to engage with the world from a place of authenticity and peace. Silence becomes a declaration of self-respect, a way of saying that you are enough, regardless of others' achievements. Silence also fosters contentment. By focusing on your own journey rather than others, you cultivate a sense of satisfaction with where you are and what you have. This contentment is not complacency. It's an acknowledgement of the progress you've made and the possibilities that lie ahead. Silence nurtures this mindset, helping you to appreciate the present while working toward the future. The power of silence lies in its ability to shift your focus from comparison to connection. It reminds you that success is not a zero-sum game, and that celebrating others' achievements does not diminish your own. By speaking less, you create a space where envy loses its grip, replaced by gratitude, humility, and inspiration. Silence, in this sense, is more than a practice. It is a path to freedom, one that leads to a life defined not by what others have, but by the richness of your own journey. Recognizing the power of silence as a shield against envy leads to profound self-mastery, but life's greatest transformations come from timeless lessons that serve as a compass for every step forward. These lessons, rooted in Stoic philosophy, offer enduring wisdom that can reshape how you navigate challenges, relationships, and your inner world. By embracing these truths, you can cultivate resilience, clarity, and fulfillment that will carry you through life's complexities with grace and purpose. One of the most valuable lessons to learn is the importance of focusing on what you can control. Stoicism teaches that the key to peace lies in separating what is within your influence from what is not. Energy wasted on things outside your control, other people's opinions, outcomes of events, or unforeseen challenges, only creates frustration and drains your emotional reserves. Redirecting that energy toward your actions, choices, and responses empowers you to approach life with greater clarity and effectiveness. This shift transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth and allows you to move forward with a sense of purpose and calm. The lesson of acceptance is equally transformative. Life is unpredictable, and resistance to its natural flow often leads to unnecessary suffering. By practicing acceptance, you learn to embrace life as it unfolds, appreciating both its joys and challenges. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity. It means recognizing that while you cannot always change circumstances, you can control how you respond to them. This mindset fosters resilience, enabling you to navigate difficulties with strength and grace while finding meaning even in adversity. Another profound life lesson is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, creating a sense of abundance and contentment. It teaches you to value the small moments, the relationships that matter, and the progress you've made. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to comparison and envy, reminding you that fulfillment comes not from having more, but from appreciating what already exists. This mindset not only brings joy, but also fosters deeper connections with others, as gratitude often inspires acts of kindness and generosity. The value of discipline is a cornerstone of personal growth. Discipline is not about rigid control, but about consistent effort toward meaningful goals. It teaches you to prioritize long-term benefits over short-term gratification, building habits that align with your values and aspirations. Discipline strengthens your character, giving you the resilience to persevere through challenges and the focus to achieve what truly matters. By embracing discipline, you create a life defined by intention rather than impulse, ensuring that your actions lead to lasting fulfillment. Emotional regulation is another lesson that shapes how you engage with the world. Emotions are natural, but letting them dictate your actions can lead to regret or conflict. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of observing your emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. By pausing before reacting, you create space to respond thoughtfully, ensuring that your actions align with your values. This practice not only enhances your relationships, but also builds inner peace as you learn to navigate life's highs and lows with equanimity. The lesson of impermanence teaches you to cherish the present moment. Everything in life is temporary: joy, sorrow, success, failure, and this truth can either bring fear or freedom. By embracing impermanence, you learn to appreciate the beauty of each moment without clinging to it. This perspective fosters mindfulness, encouraging you to live fully and authentically. It also reduces fear of loss, as you come to understand that change is a natural part of life's flow, offering opportunities for growth and renewal. Self-awareness is a foundational lesson for personal transformation. Knowing yourself, your strengths, weaknesses, values, and motivations, allows you to make choices that align with who you truly are. Self-awareness is not about judgment, but about understanding, creating a space where you can grow and evolve without the weight of criticism. This clarity strengthens your relationships as it enables you to engage with others authentically and set healthy boundaries that protect your well-being. The power of purpose is a guiding force that gives meaning to your life. Purpose is not something you find. It is something you create by aligning your actions with your values and passions. Having a clear sense of purpose provides direction, helping you to prioritize what truly matters and let go of distractions. It also fosters resilience, as a strong sense of purpose motivates you to persevere through challenges and setbacks. By living with purpose, you create a life that feels fulfilling and meaningful, one that inspires both yourself and those around you. Forgiveness is a lesson that liberates you from the weight of resentment. Holding on to anger or grudges only harms you, creating emotional baggage that hinders your peace and happiness. Forgiveness is not about condoning harmful actions, but about releasing their hold on you. It is an act of self-compassion, a way to free yourself from the past and open your heart to healing and renewal. This practice strengthens your relationships and fosters a sense of inner freedom, allowing you to move forward without the burden of bitterness. The practice of simplicity teaches you to focus on what truly matters. In a world filled with distractions and excess, simplicity is a path to clarity and contentment. It is about letting go of what doesn't serve you, material possessions, unnecessary commitments, or negative thought patterns, and creating space for what does. Simplicity is not about deprivation, but about intentional living, ensuring that your energy is directed toward the people, activities, and goals that bring you joy and fulfillment. The lesson of humility reminds you of the value of perspective. Humility is not self-deprecation, but an acknowledgement of your place in the larger tapestry of life. It teaches you to approach others with respect, to listen with an open mind, and to recognize that there is always more to learn. Humility fosters connection and collaboration, creating relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. It also grounds you, reminding you to appreciate what you have and strive for growth without arrogance. The art of letting go is a lesson that brings peace and liberation. Holding on to what no longer serves you, whether it's possessions, relationships, or past regrets, only creates emotional clutter. Letting go is not about giving up, but about creating space for growth and new possibilities. This practice requires trust in yourself and in life's natural flow, allowing you to move forward with lightness and clarity. Letting go frees you from the past, grounding you in the present, and opening the door to a future defined by potential. The lesson of resilience teaches you that challenges are not obstacles, but opportunities for growth. Resilience is the ability to adapt, to face adversity with courage and creativity, and to emerge stronger on the other side. It is not about avoiding difficulties, but about embracing them as part of life's journey. Resilience is built through self-awareness, discipline, and a sense of purpose, creating a foundation of strength that carries you through life's uncertainties with confidence and grace. The wisdom of gratitude, discipline, acceptance, and humility forms a foundation for a life well lived. By integrating these lessons into your daily actions and mindset, you create a life defined not by external achievements, but by internal fulfillment. These principles guide you toward clarity, resilience, and peace, offering a compass that ensures you navigate life's complexities with wisdom and grace. They remind you that growth is not about perfection, but about progress, and that true success is found in the alignment of your values, actions, and purpose. Through these lessons, you create a life that not only improves your own well-being, but also inspires and uplifts those around you. Life's greatest lessons shape not only how you navigate challenges, but also how you perceive and transform your inner world. At the heart of these lessons lies Stoic psychology, a philosophy that offers profound tools to reshape your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Falling in love with this ancient wisdom doesn't happen by chance. It's cultivated through understanding and practice. By embracing its strategies, you unlock a mindset that fosters resilience, clarity, and fulfillment in all aspects of life. Stoic psychology begins with the realization that your thoughts shape your reality. Events themselves hold no power over you. It is your interpretation of them that creates emotional responses. This foundational principle empowers you to reclaim control over your mind. Instead of reacting impulsively to external circumstances, you learn to pause and evaluate your thoughts. This shift turns challenges into opportunities for growth as you focus on what you can influence rather than what you cannot. One of the most transformative strategies in Stoic psychology is the practice of detachment. Detachment is not about indifference. It's about recognizing that your worth is not tied to external outcomes or possessions. By cultivating this mindset, you free yourself from the anxiety of losing what you value and the stress of chasing what you desire. Detachment allows you to engage with life fully and authentically, knowing that your inner peace does not depend on external circumstances. The principle of acceptance is another cornerstone of Stoic thought. Life is filled with uncertainty, and resistance to its natural flow often leads to unnecessary suffering. Acceptance teaches you to embrace reality as it is, rather than as you wish it to be. This practice doesn't mean giving up. It means approaching challenges with clarity and purpose. By accepting what you cannot change, you redirect your energy toward what you can, fostering resilience and clarity in the face of adversity. Gratitude, a simple yet powerful practice, aligns perfectly with Stoic psychology. It shifts your focus from lack to abundance, fostering a mindset of appreciation for what you have rather than longing for what you don't. Gratitude teaches you to see each moment as a gift, even in difficult times. This perspective not only reduces stress, but also strengthens your emotional resilience as it helps you find meaning and joy in the present moment. Self-discipline is another key strategy that transforms your relationship with yourself and the world. Discipline is about aligning your actions with your values and long-term goals, rather than being driven by fleeting impulses. This practice builds confidence and inner strength, as it demonstrates that you have the power to shape your life through intentional choices. Discipline also fosters a sense of purpose, as it helps you prioritize what truly matters over distractions or short-term gratification. Stoic psychology also emphasizes the importance of perspective. When faced with challenges, it's easy to become overwhelmed by their immediate impact. However, stepping back and viewing the situation from a broader perspective often reveals that the problem is smaller than it seems. This practice, known as the view from above, helps you maintain emotional balance and clarity. By seeing the bigger picture, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and gain a sense of calm and focus. Emotional regulation is a core element of Stoic thought. Emotions are natural and unavoidable, but allowing them to control your actions often leads to regret or conflict. Stoic psychology teaches you to observe your emotions without becoming consumed by them. This practice involves acknowledging your feelings, understanding their source, and choosing your response deliberately. Over time, this approach fosters a sense of emotional freedom as you learn to navigate life's highs and lows with grace. Another transformative strategy is the practice of daily reflection. Reflection involves reviewing your thoughts, actions, and experiences with an honest and compassionate eye. This habit helps you identify patterns, celebrate progress, and address areas for improvement. Reflection is not about self-criticism, but about growth, as it allows you to learn from each day and approach the next with greater wisdom. This practice deepens your connection to yourself and strengthens your commitment to living intentionally. The final strategy is the cultivation of purpose. Purpose provides direction, anchoring you in what truly matters. Stoic psychology encourages you to align your actions with your values and to approach each day with intention. Purpose is not a destination, but a journey, one that evolves as you grow. By living with purpose, you create a life of meaning and fulfillment, one that inspires both yourself and others. Falling in love with Stoic psychology is a process of transformation, one that begins with understanding and deepens through practice. Each strategy offers a path to greater clarity, resilience, and peace. Together, they create a foundation for a life well lived, where challenges become opportunities, emotions become allies, and each moment is approached with gratitude and intention. This is not just a philosophy, it is a way of being, one that empowers you to navigate life's complexities with wisdom and grace. Understanding and practicing Stoic psychology is a transformative journey that aligns your inner world with your actions. Yet, the beauty of Stoicism extends beyond personal growth. It also influences how you interact with and impress others. Mastering certain psychological techniques rooted in Stoic principles can make you a compelling presence in any setting. These methods don't rely on manipulation or pretense. Instead, they center on authenticity, empathy, and clarity, creating connections that are genuine and impactful. Let's explore how these techniques can help you leave a lasting impression. At the heart of impressing others lies the ability to listen deeply. Genuine listening is rare, and when people sense that you truly hear them, they feel valued and respected. By focusing entirely on the speaker, avoiding interruptions, and responding thoughtfully, you demonstrate a level of attention that stands out in a world filled with distractions. This technique not only strengthens connections, but also gives you valuable insights into the other person's thoughts and emotions, allowing you to engage meaningfully. Another powerful technique is the practice of presence. Being fully present in any interaction conveys confidence and authenticity. Presence means putting away distractions, maintaining eye contact, and engaging with an open and calm demeanor. People are naturally drawn to those who make them feel seen and heard. By cultivating presence, you create an atmosphere of trust and warmth, making your interactions memorable and impactful. Empathy is a cornerstone of Stoic interaction. Understanding and acknowledging others' feelings fosters a sense of connection and mutual respect. Empathy doesn't mean agreeing with everything the other person says. It means showing that you understand their perspective. This creates a bond that is both deep and genuine, leaving a lasting impression on those you interact with. Clarity in communication is another technique that enhances your presence. Speaking clearly, choosing your words thoughtfully, and avoiding unnecessary jargon ensures that your message is not only understood, but also appreciated. Clarity reflects your confidence and respect for the other person's time and attention. When people know they can rely on you to communicate effectively, they are more likely to value your contributions and perspectives. Humility, as emphasized in Stoic principles, is a subtle yet powerful way to impress others. True humility involves acknowledging your limitations while remaining open to learning. This approach disarms arrogance and fosters trust, as people are naturally drawn to those who are confident yet grounded. By balancing self-assurance with humility, you create a presence that is both inspiring and approachable. The art of restraint is another technique that resonates deeply. Speaking less and choosing your words carefully not only enhances the weight of your contributions, but also shows respect for others' input. Restraint demonstrates thoughtfulness and patience, qualities that are often admired. It allows you to observe and adapt to the dynamics of the conversation, ensuring that your contributions are both timely and impactful. Building rapport through shared values and interests creates a foundation for lasting connections. Finding common ground shows that you are attentive and engaged, creating a sense of mutual understanding. This doesn't mean forcing agreement. Rather, it involves highlighting genuine points of connection. When people see that you share their values or perspectives, they are more likely to trust and appreciate you. Non-verbal communication is another technique that leaves a strong impression. Your body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice often speak louder than your words. Stoicism teaches composure, and this translates into calm and confident non-verbal cues. Open gestures, relaxed posture, and a warm tone create an atmosphere of ease and respect, drawing others toward you. Consistency in your words and actions builds credibility. People are impressed by those who follow through on their commitments and align their behavior with their values. This integrity fosters trust and admiration, as it shows that you are reliable and principled. Consistency also reinforces your authenticity, making your presence more impactful over time. Offering genuine praise is a simple yet profound technique. Acknowledging others' strengths and accomplishments not only uplifts them, but also reflects your self-assuredness and generosity. Genuine praise creates a positive dynamic in interactions, showing that you are confident enough to celebrate others' successes without feeling diminished. This generosity of spirit is both rare and inspiring, leaving a lasting impression. The ability to adapt to different social dynamics is another valuable skill. Flexibility shows emotional intelligence and a willingness to meet others where they are. This adaptability makes you approachable and ensures that your interactions are harmonious and meaningful. It reflects your ability to navigate complexities with grace, a quality that is both impressive and reassuring. The practice of gratitude enhances your presence. Expressing gratitude for others' time, efforts, or insights demonstrates humility and appreciation. Gratitude fosters positive interactions, creating an environment of mutual respect and connection. It reflects a mindset that values relationships and acknowledges the contributions of others, leaving a profound impact on those you interact with. Mastering these psychological techniques transforms how you engage with others. They are not about crafting a facade, but about embodying authenticity, empathy, and respect. By integrating these methods, rooted in Stoic wisdom, you create a presence that is not only impressive, but also deeply meaningful. These techniques elevate your interactions, building connections that inspire trust, admiration, and lasting impact. Through thoughtful engagement, you demonstrate that true influence comes not from force or pretense, but from the quiet power of authenticity and integrity. Building meaningful connections through authenticity and psychological insight shows the power of intentional interaction. Yet, as much as human relationships matter, there is a profound freedom in letting go of the weight of others' opinions. Stoic philosophy teaches us that focusing on your own life, rather than worrying about external validation or judgment, is the ultimate path to peace and purpose. This mindset is not about indifference, but about clarity, understanding that most people are too absorbed in their own struggles to truly fixate on yours. Letting go of this misplaced concern allows you to direct your energy where it matters most, toward your growth, goals, and fulfillment. The belief that others are constantly observing or judging you is often a distortion fueled by insecurity or overthinking. Most people are preoccupied with their own lives, concerns, and aspirations. Recognizing this truth liberates you from the anxiety of trying to meet external expectations. Instead of constantly seeking approval or avoiding judgment, you can focus your efforts on what aligns with your values and goals. This shift in focus is empowering, as it redirects energy from worrying about what others think to creating a life that feels authentic and meaningful to you. Focusing on your life means taking full responsibility for your actions and decisions. It is easy to blame circumstances or the opinions of others for your challenges, but Stoic philosophy emphasizes ownership of your responses. By accepting responsibility, you reclaim control over your path. This ownership allows you to evaluate your choices honestly and make adjustments that align with your purpose. It shifts your mindset from victimhood to agency, fostering a sense of empowerment and self-trust. Letting go of the need to please others creates space for self-discovery. When your actions are driven by external validation, it is difficult to know who you truly are or what you genuinely want. Focusing on your life encourages you to explore your passions, values, and priorities without the distraction of others' expectations. This exploration deepens your connection to yourself, providing a foundation for a life that feels fulfilling and purposeful. Focusing inward also strengthens your ability to set boundaries. When you prioritize your own needs and goals, it becomes easier to recognize when others' demands or opinions conflict with your values. Boundaries are not about shutting people out, but about protecting your energy and ensuring that your actions align with your intentions. By establishing and maintaining boundaries, you create a sense of balance that allows you to engage with others without losing sight of your own priorities. The practice of focusing on your life also cultivates resilience. Life is filled with challenges, many of which are amplified by the fear of judgment or failure in the eyes of others. By letting go of this fear, you develop the courage to face obstacles with clarity and determination. Resilience is not about ignoring difficulties, but about approaching them with a mindset rooted in strength and self-assurance. This perspective allows you to navigate setbacks without being derailed by the opinions or expectations of others. Concentrating on your own life also fosters gratitude. When you stop comparing yourself to others or seeking their approval, you become more attuned to the blessings and opportunities in your own journey. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, creating a sense of abundance and contentment. This mindset not only brings joy, but also motivates you to make the most of your circumstances, turning even small victories into sources of inspiration. Letting go of external validation also reduces stress and anxiety. Worrying about how others perceive you can be exhausting, as it creates a constant need to monitor and adjust your behavior. Focusing inward frees you from this burden, allowing you to live with greater ease and authenticity. This freedom enhances your mental and emotional well-being, as it removes a significant source of pressure and self-doubt. The shift toward focusing on your own life also enhances your creativity. When you are no longer consumed by the need to conform or impress, you have more mental space to explore new ideas and approaches. Creativity thrives in an environment free from judgment and fear, and focusing on your own journey creates this environment. This freedom to create and experiment enriches your life, fostering a sense of growth and possibility. This mindset also deepens your relationships. When you stop seeking validation from others, your interactions become more authentic and meaningful. Instead of trying to impress or please, you can engage with others from a place of genuine interest and connection. This authenticity fosters trust and respect, strengthening your bonds and creating relationships that are rooted in mutual understanding rather than superficial approval. Focusing on your own life also aligns your actions with your values. External validation often pulls you away from what truly matters, leading you to make choices that prioritize appearances over authenticity. By letting go of this need, you can make decisions that reflect your core beliefs and aspirations. This alignment creates a sense of integrity and purpose as your actions become a true expression of who you are. This philosophy also teaches the importance of detachment from outcomes. Many people fixate on achieving specific results, often because they believe these outcomes will earn approval or recognition. Focusing on your own life shifts the emphasis from outcomes to effort, reminding you that your worth is not defined by external success, but by your commitment to your values and goals. This detachment fosters a sense of peace, as it allows you to pursue your aspirations without being consumed by the need for validation. The practice of focusing inward also cultivates self-confidence. When you rely less on others' opinions, you develop a stronger sense of trust in your own judgment and abilities. This confidence is not about arrogance, but about a quiet assurance that comes from knowing you are living in alignment with your truth. It empowers you to take risks, embrace challenges, and navigate life's uncertainties with courage and grace. Stoic philosophy also emphasizes the impermanence of others' opinions. What people think of you today may change tomorrow, often based on factors beyond your control. Recognizing this impermanence reduces the weight of judgment, reminding you that others' opinions are fleeting and often irrelevant to your journey. This awareness liberates you from the need to conform, allowing you to focus on what truly matters in your life. By prioritizing your own growth, you also become a source of inspiration for others. When people see you living authentically and confidently, they are often encouraged to do the same. This influence is not about seeking validation, but about demonstrating the power of self-focus and integrity. Your actions speak louder than words, showing others that true fulfillment comes from within. Focusing on your life is not an act of selfishness, but of self-respect. It is a commitment to living authentically, to prioritizing what matters most, and to letting go of distractions that pull you away from your purpose. This mindset creates a foundation for a life that is not only fulfilling, but also deeply inspiring. By embracing this philosophy, you free yourself from the weight of judgment and discover the joy of living fully, intentionally, and unapologetically. Letting go of external validation and focusing on your own life opens the door to profound inner peace and personal growth. Yet, sometimes it is the timeless wisdom of certain principles that can bring clarity and transformation in a single moment. Stoic philosophy offers a blueprint for living with intention, resilience, and purpose. These principles are not abstract ideas, but practical guides that can shift your perspective and actions immediately. By embracing them, you can reshape how you approach challenges, relationships, and your own mind, creating a foundation for lasting change. The first transformative principle is recognizing the dichotomy of control. This idea teaches that life is divided into two realms: what you can control and what you cannot. Worrying about things outside your influence, like others' opinions, the past, or the future, only drains your energy. Focusing on what you can control, such as your actions, choices, and mindset, empowers you to live with clarity and confidence. This shift eliminates unnecessary stress and helps you make deliberate, impactful decisions. Acceptance is another life-changing principle. Resistance to life's natural flow often leads to frustration and suffering. Acceptance is not about surrendering to circumstances, but about approaching them with understanding and resilience. When you accept reality as it is, you free yourself from the emotional turmoil of wishing it were different. This mindset allows you to respond thoughtfully, adapt to change, and find peace even in adversity. A third principle is practicing gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, fostering a sense of abundance and contentment. It helps you recognize the value in small moments and appreciate the relationships, opportunities, and progress in your life. Gratitude is more than a feeling. It is an active practice that enhances your well-being and strengthens your connections with others. This perspective fosters joy and reduces the pull of comparison or envy. The principle of self-discipline is equally transformative. Discipline is the bridge between intentions and outcomes. It teaches you to prioritize long-term goals over short-term gratification, aligning your actions with your values. Discipline builds trust in yourself, showing that you can rely on your own commitment to achieve what matters most. It also fosters resilience, as it helps you persevere through challenges with focus and determination. Emotional regulation is another cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Emotions are natural, but letting them control your actions often leads to regret or conflict. Emotional regulation involves observing your feelings without being overwhelmed by them. It creates space for thoughtful responses, ensuring that your actions align with your principles. This practice not only strengthens your relationships, but also enhances your sense of inner peace and self-mastery. The importance of perspective cannot be overstated. Often challenges feel overwhelming because we view them through a narrow lens. Broadening your perspective allows you to see situations more clearly and calmly. The view from above, a Stoic practice, involves imagining your life as part of a larger whole, helping you put problems into context. This shift in perspective reduces stress and fosters a sense of purpose, reminding you that life's difficulties are often fleeting and manageable. Living with intention is the final principle that transforms how you approach each day. Intention means aligning your actions with your values and goals, ensuring that your energy is directed toward what truly matters. It is about making conscious choices rather than reacting impulsively. Living with intention fosters clarity and fulfillment, as it ensures that your life reflects your deepest aspirations. These principles, rooted in Stoic wisdom, have the power to create profound change when practiced consistently. They provide a framework for navigating life's complexities with grace and strength, offering clarity in moments of doubt and resilience in the face of challenges. By embracing these timeless truths, you cultivate a life that is not only purposeful, but also deeply fulfilling. They are more than ideas. They are tools for living well, guiding you toward a path of peace, authenticity, and lasting transformation.